Andrew Moran gets us underway.
And then we're straight
Sing for the Seagulls.
Yes. No,
the ball looking in behind for Shamir Fenelon. He might have a chance to get in behind here, and Shamir Fenelon can't quite control that effort. But did manage to break him behind. It's a warning sign for that young Albion defence. Bing can't quite make the most of it. Cushane looks for the run of Moran in behind. And Dave's misjudging. It might come for Andrew Moran. And it's a good stop by Sam Howes. Moran looked likely to bend that one into the corner, but Howes made himself big and denied the Irishman. Fenelon.
Number 1.
It will come back to the yellow and green strip of Horsham. And here is Kavanagh, maybe with a chance to curl on his right fist towards the far corner. Palmed away on first attempt by Beadle, and it's put over the bar by Lee Harding. Racing in to pounce on that parry.
Oh, I don't need
2 goals for his name this season, but he might be looking to notch an assist here. Try and help his side into the lead. Several in there for Horsham. Richards delivers towards the far post, and it's almost nodded in by Shamir Fenelon, but just can't quite get the contact on the header. Forward in the box for the Albion. It's drifted towards the far post, and plenty of space here for Hinshelwood. And surely he has to do better there. Harding, and his back pass is loose, and it might be a big chance here. Zach Emerson racing away into the area, and he opens the scoring for the Albion. It's a mistake from Horsham, and one that Zach Emerson has gobbled up. A composed finish from the Albion striker beyond the dive of Sam Howes into the bottom right-hand corner. And it's Albion who take the lead here in Lancing. But it does come back to Hinchy, who finds Cushane, and now Emerson might be away here, and he's onside. Harvey Sparks appealing for it, but he's certainly on. Emerson breaking into the box. He's got Moran and Baker Boatti with him. Here is Benicio Baker Boatti, and his effort deflected into the hands of Sam Howes. Now Sessignon, high cross into the box, and Beadle's come a long way to punch it clear, and it comes back to Kavanagh, who tries the dipping volley and just can't quite keep it down, but it wasn't a bad effort from Tom Kavanagh. McConville. Now Wilson, he finds the ball out to Baker Boatti, who's got some space, and he's being joined by Nielsen. Looks to go inside and checks back the other way. Good footwork from the youngster, delivers it low, and it's only half cleared. Now Moran guides it back towards goal and doubles the Albion's lead. And it's Andrew Moran, the Irishman, who dispatches that one beyond the dive of Sam Howes. But what fantastic work from Benicio Baker Boatti, twisting and turning his way through the Horsham defence. And eventually it found its way to Moran, who just swiveled it and smacks it into the top corner. His day. Richards sails Tom Day a little bit short, but Tom Day continuing and goes for goal from range, and it's concerned James Beadle for a moment, but just pulled out McConville. And now Sturge plays into the channel where Wilson is there, and there's numbers in this attack for the Albion. Here is one of them. It's Andrew Moran, and now Zach Emerson. And how has Zach Emerson put that one wide?
I think going that way is better than that way down. 100%.
That pass a little loose, and there might be a chance for a break here. And it might go through, and here's Shamir Fenelon. A great chance to halve the deficit. Oh no! A glorious chance for the former Albion striker. Brighton won't mind at all, but Horsham need an injection of pace if they're to find a way back into this game. 2-0 still to the Albion. It's Asani crosses it in, and it's nodded away by Hinshelwood. Now crossed in again, and it's headed towards goal, this time by Hester Cook. But it's not got enough pace on the header to beat James Beadle. Horsham win the ball back, and more of an open field now as Harding receives it off to Sane. Harding delivers it low, and it's towards the near post, and it was Fenelon coming across there. I'll come back to Charlie Harris, and that one's sliced away on his left foot. And That's won back well by Kasper Nielsen midway through his own half, and he's got options here. Kasper Nielsen racing away into the box, drives it low, and it should be 3, and it is 3. Ben Wilson surely wraps things up for the Albion and sends them through to the Sussex Senior Cup final. Kasper Nielsen racing away on halfway, delivered the ball to the back post, and it's swept in by Ben Wilson. Now Sparks. Driving forward, and now breaking his box is Charlie Harris, and it's a great stop from James Beadle. The former Albion midfielder, Charlie Harris, struck it towards the bottom left-hand corner. Harris over this corner, looks like he's going to dump it right onto Beadle's head. And it does evade Beadle, and it might be in there. It's an overhead kick, and a spectacular finish from Tom Day. And that's his first goal of the season. And in some style, Tom Day. The corner wasn't cleared, and it's an acrobatic attempt by a scholar. And he has scored against the Eagles' biggest rivals. And maybe, just maybe, with 6 minutes left on the clock, towards the far post, and Beadle half clears it, and then it's helped away. And now Desane gets away from Miller. Eddie Desane! And James Beadle, for a moment, looked like he spilled that one. And it's given away, and Spongs miscontrolled it. And there might be a chance here. Shamir Fenelon is deflected, and tipped over the crossbar by James Beadle. The effort from Fenelon was blocked, and it looped towards the goal. Man, but sets it to an Albion shirt. And now Zach Emerson can race away into the penalty area. Zach Emerson slots it wide of the far post. Harris clips it in towards Tom Day's headers towards the far post, and only just misses that far corner. And at the end of 90 minutes, it's the Seagulls who down the Hornets, despite a spectacular effort from Tom Day. It's goals from Zach Emerson, Andy Moran and Ben Wilson that see the Albion into the final of the Sussex Senior Cup.
Sure?
Yeah. No, I just think about like if a goal scored, where we're going to use a.
I'll work that, yeah, mate.
Right, I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to have an open out.
That's right, I've got. That's why I keep the win there for live.
So you're going to do the rundown of the team?
Yeah, can do. Yeah. So, just check the pronunciations. James Beadle, Cam Peckion, James Furlong, Ed Turns, Bob Jackson, Jack Spong, Todd Miller, Jack Vinci, Lauren Talage. Is it Lauren?
Loren, I think. Loren Talage.
Andy Moran, Zach Sturge, Benicio Baker, Waity.
I think, yeah, Baker Kawati, Benicio Baker Kawati. I think, I'm not 100% sure.
Cool.
I think it's like
Finn Talley, Marcus Ifield, Jack Hinshelwood, and Samuel Cooper.
that one is like shoe chain. Yeah. I looked up yesterday on like Google. Like shoe chain. He's Tunisian, so it's like French.
And we are underway. Passington. His corner's low, it's in towards Racine, and it's in there, and it's Golding! And it's somehow kept out.
So, what we're saying then,
Just battling with Racine, and he's nicked the back of the chance here for Curtis Gaylor!
on that camera, right?
And it just flashed
So if you just look at your
across the 6-yard box from Curtis Gaylor.
absolutely right. That's your screen. Right. In fact, there's another one there.
Cocoraccia
It's easier.
That's easier. Right. So you can see.
plays it forward, and now a chance for Golding to break into the box. It's a great chance to deliver the cross, and Bromwich manages to just about get there. Now Passington low, and it's deflected, and it's in! And it's Worthing who take the lead. Jasper Paddington it was who fired the ball in. And I think it just came off the heel of another Worthing player on the way through to beat Mitch Bromwich. And after so much pressure throughout the first 40 minutes of this half, be the more pleased of the two managers. Jamie Crellin, we hope your side don't concede another here before half time. It comes to Adari, he just goes down the edge of the area, but referee waves play on. Now Barker stepping forward. His pass tries to find Keeley, but it might run through. But Reece Meekham's golden opportunity! And it's Reece Meekham's who doubles Worthing's advantage. He found a gap on the right-hand side of Drew Bridges' defence and just curled it, caressed it into that far corner beyond the despairing Mitch Bromwich. And that's exactly the start to the second half that Worthing fans and gaffer Adam Hinchelwood would have wanted. Went for a little bit of pressure, but hooks the ball forward and finds the runner Keeley into this left-hand channel. He's looking to take on Bracknell, goes one way and the other. Delivers it low, and it's not quite clear, and it's a great chance, and Sean Golding just can't quite keep his effort down. They're just about intercepted. Now Wilson goes for goal from range for that one. Speculative. And they might have a chance here to further add to their 2-0 lead. Patton trying to take on Ashley, delivers the ball into the box, it's headed towards goal, and it's a great chance for Dari there. Stooping header. Here's Villavicencio, and now perhaps a really good chance for Curtis Gaylor. But Harrison Mayle hasn't had to do much all evening. Here they come, maybe a great chance here. Patton into the box, Callum Keeley, and oh, what a sliding challenge that was to deny Callum Keeley. And Passenden takes the corner, it goes in, it might come on the edge of the area to David Vidari, and that is an absolute thunderbolt from David Vidari. Arrowed into the bottom left-hand corner. On loan from Crawley, but making his mark at Worthing. It fails from on the edge of the area, and what a superb connection with the ball from David Vidari. With just under 20 minutes remaining, but Three Bridges will remain persistent, but Ollie Pearce here with chance to deliver low into the box, and it flashes across, and it is 4, and it is Callum Keeley on the score sheet. It's another low knee, and this time it's the Australian man Callum Keeley. The cross came in from Ollie Pearce, and sliding in at the near post was Callum Keeley to score his 10th goal of the season. Always plenty on for Sussex fans to watch. And now here comes Keeley, and it comes to Ollie Pearce, and just clips that one over the bar, and he'll be disappointed he's not able to. Luca Cucaracha looks for that switch ball out, and it's really well found by Cucaracha, and here is Passenden. Finds Keeley, who pulls one across, and it's in! And it's that man again, Reece Miles Meekham's. And it's 5 up for Worthing. And it's a fantastic switch of play by Luca Cucaracha to start off that move. And eventually, after a delivery by Callum Keeley, it was Reece Miles Meekham sliding in either side of Vidari, and there's a chance for Perry here, and almost Miles Meekham's just scoring 2 either side of Vidari and Keeley, but maybe a chance here, and it's stopped by the feet of Harrison Mayle,
as the full-time whistle blows, and it is Worthing who will progress to the final of the Sussex Senior Challenge Cup.
Well, good evening and a very warm welcome to the Amex Community Stadium for this, the showpiece occasion in the football calendar for all of Sussex. It's the Sussex Senior Cup final between Brighton Hove Albion and Worthing FC. I'm Dean Kilford and delighted to be joined by Jack Payne. Jack, welcome.
Well, thanks, Dean. Thanks for having me here tonight. It's a great occasion, you know, the showpiece of Sussex football, as you say, between two great sides in Sussex. We're blessed to have quite a few good sides in Sussex this season, and we've got obviously Brighton tonight playing, well, the youth team playing in the stadium of the senior team, but it should be a really good contest now. I'm really looking forward to what's going to be an excellent match, and whoever's going to run out winners and pick up that trophy.
Well, that's what you're playing for, that trophy right there. We can see a good shot off. 44 times between these two teams. They've won it a combined... Oh, sorry, I've overstated. 34 times. I got very excited there. 21 times winners Worthing versus 13-time winners Brighton Hove Albion. Of course, there's that controversy about the Sussex Wartime Cup. Yeah, we were having a chat about that with some of the other press team here before the game. Little bit of uncertainty over those victories back in war times, but nonetheless, they both won it a lot of times, and they'll both be really keen to add to their impressive totals here this evening. Two great footballing teams. Worthing, they travel here obviously as underdogs, but 3 years in the making, where they've been denied promotion 2 years in the top. Finally, third time of asking, they are promoted to the National League South. Yeah, obviously they were top a couple of years ago and denied by that curtailment. The thing they were up there with Folkestone and Victor in the Isthmian Premier. And then obviously last season disrupted as well, and they managed to keep that same group of players together, and they've got a lot of them playing here tonight, and they finally got the promotion. The club and George Dow, the owner, and Adam Hinchelwood, they all deserve it so much. I think they do come into this one as underdogs, but I think they're going to give Brighton a real fight. So it's going to be a really good contest, and I don't think it's going to be one-sided in any shape or form. Well, no, the Brighton Hove Albion team going to be a mixture of the under-18s and under-23s, I'm sure, that have played in this competition. Both teams, throughout their run, which we'll get into later, have been pretty unchallenged, pretty unmatched during their run to the final. Yeah, it's been fairly straightforward for both sides. So Brighton have come through with that 6-0 win at the start. We'll touch on the journeys in a minute, but they're both the two best teams in the competition. Not sometimes with the competitions like this, you get maybe one of the big teams gets knocked out early on, or these two sides might have met earlier in the competition. But I think on this occasion, we've genuinely got the two best teams in Sussex. Maybe Eastbourne Borough might throw their hat into the ring, but I think these are the two best sides in the competition, and they're rightfully here on merit. So I'm finding this one hard to call, if I'm honest with you, from the outset here. But two good footballing teams. Yeah, that's it. They're both, I think tonight, playing the Amex as well, we've got a big pitch, an expansive pitch. Both teams are really going to look to knock it about and play good football. Lots of technical players on show. So it's going to be a good tactical and technical affair this evening here at the Amex, which is a great venue. You can hear the Worthing fans in full voice. They've orchestrated their travel over where they're sitting in the stands. They'll be in full voice throughout this one. Yeah, Worthing always bring a good bunch wherever they go. You know, down at Woodside Road, they're
always the attendance is always a plus, like over 1,000 and always good noise. It's great what they've done with the stadium down there. Really good environment for the non-league. But here are the teams coming out now, Dean.
Absolutely. Well, let's run through those two teams. We'll start with Brighton Hove Albion, of course, in their blue and white shirts, blue shorts and white socks. In goal for them is number 1, James Beadle. Number 2, Cam Pupion. Number 3, James Furlong. Number 4, Ed Turns. Number 5, Ben Jackson. Number 6, captain Jack Spong. Number 7, Todd Miller. Number 8, Jack Hinchy. Number 9, Laurent Talage. Number 10, Andy Moran. And number 11, Zach Sturge. On the bench for Brighton Hove Albion this evening will be Benicio Baker Buatti. Number 13, Finn Talley. Number 14, Marcus Eiffel. Number 15, Jack Hinchelwood. And number 16, Sammy Shushane. For Worthing in their red shirts and red socks. In goal for them, number 1, Harrison Mayle. Number 2, Joel Colbrand. Number 3, Patrick Webber. Number 4, William Seeger. Number 5, captain Aaron Racine. Number 8, Marvin Armstrong. Number 11, Jesse Starkey. Number 15, Callum Keeley. Number 10, Oliver Pearce. Number 17, Rhys Miles Meekums. Number 19, Jasper Paddington. And the subs for Worthing, number 6, Darren Budd. Number 7, a familiar face here in Dean Cox. Number 9, Deshaun Golding. Number 14, Ollie Starkey. And number 16, Alex Parsons. Any standout surprises for you in the starting lineups this evening?
Not too many. I think with Brighton, as you said before, they've used a lot of the 18s through the competition so far, with the odd sprinkle of the 23s, and we're seeing more of that tonight. So we've got the likes of Ed Turns, Jack Spong, Todd Miller, even Laurent Talage, who have a key parts of the 23s squad, but they still kept a few of the 18s in there as well. Interesting to see Jack Hinchelwood on the bench for Brighton. He's obviously son of Worthing's manager Adam Hinchelwood.
Father, son, we love those competitions.
Yeah, I know that Jack and Adam were talking about it pre-match in their interviews with the Sussex FA. So that'll be interesting if he does come on, how he fares against his dad. But for Worthing, it's a fairly familiar lineup, you have to say. It's the usual suspects that have done so well in the league and gotten that promotion to National League South. I think you've got to look out for Jasper Pattenden, the youngster who's really made his breakthrough this season. He was on the fringes for the previous 2 years, and he's one that was released by Brighton. A number of these Worthing players were released by Brighton, and I think he's gonna cause some issues tonight. But a fair few number of players that have the ability to produce that moment to win trophies.
Well, so one of the good things, similarities between both these clubs, of course, are the ability to bring players up from the youth teams. Worthing, obviously, you mentioned Pattenden. He's not the only player that's come up through the ranks. And Brighton Hove Albion, well, we've seen already in the first team this season, the Premier League, a number of their players, obviously Casido being an obvious one, just making his name in the Premier League. So there's probably a number of stars playing here tonight that will become household names in the next coming years.
Yeah, it's a great thing about Worthing and Brighton. Obviously, Brighton follow a strategy where they like to give their chances to youth under Graham Potter. We've seen that a lot, as you say, with Caicedo, who was one that was brought in, but now he's bided his time and he's made a breakthrough. But also like Bobby Sanchez in goal for them. And I think with Worthing, what's excellent is they provide that opportunity for those players who don't make it through into professional football, and with Brighton. Per se, they drop down to Worthing. Worthing provide a really good environment for them to then sort of kick on and restart their career. We've got Jasper Pattenden there tonight. Callum Keeley is another one. Cameron Tutt, who's not involved tonight, another one who's involved with them. So it's a really interesting model that Worthing are using, making themselves a good place for those who do drop out of the academy system to keep playing their football and keep enjoying their football.
Well, it's going to be interesting, particularly for Callum Keeley, obviously on loan from Dorking Wanderers. It'll be interesting to see whether he returns back to them or whether he stays with Worthing, obviously in his second spell with the club. Obviously the two captains being called over by referee Dan Austin, taking charge of the big one this evening. It's going to be a great footballing contest though, isn't it?
I really think it is. I think we'll see Brighton try and dominate possession. I think Worthing, they're not used to playing on such an expansive pitch. I know Adam Hinchelwood was talking about in the build-up that he labelled that as one of their disadvantages, that they're not used to playing on such a wide and long pitch. So I think Brighton will dominate possession and try and really go through the technical phases. But Worthing are so good at being clinical and direct with their attacks. So It's going to be tough. I've got a sneaky feeling that Worthing might nick it, but I can't call it, to be honest with you. But it's going to be, as you said, it's going to be a really, really good battle as Todd Miller looks to be the one to get us underway here. In fact, no, he's left it as they've changed with Talage, and now it's going to be Moran, I think, to get us underway.
They're just confusing you there. So, what do you reckon, 4-5-1 for Brighton?
Yeah, it looks interesting formation. They've got Cameron Perpion and Todd Miller on this near side, who are both naturally wingers. Maybe one of them will slot in a right back, but it might even be a slight change. It might be a back three as I look at it now. Just turns pulling over quite near to this right hand side there.
Brighton immediately overloading on the right hand side, looking for that long ball up for Talage, just beating to it in the air. You can't help but not recognise Miller.
Yeah, he's got that Cucurella-esque hair. He'll be hoping to produce something similar to what the Spaniard produced here against Man United over the weekend, I'm sure.
I'm sure half the stadium will definitely be wishing for that as Aaron Racine called into action for the first time, clearing the ball. He's been a real colossus at the back for Worthing. His experience of playing league football, of course, I think he's the assistant manager as well to Adam Hinchell, who had been promoted, looks after the under-14s as well. Big game for him.
Yeah, he was at Forest Green Rovers before he joined Worthing, and he captained them in the National League playoffs at the time. So he's a really good player to have on an occasion like this. Made one of the highest numbers of appearances this season, 48 games he's played for Worthing this year. So he's a real rock at the back for them, and someone they can rely on in a defensive aspect.
We can already see the closing press here from Worthing, looking to win the ball high at the pitch, and they have done with Webber. Webber looking to get to the byline, excellent block from Turns, and you can see already the game plan set out for attack. Worthing not going to allow Brighton to play out from the back.
Yeah, they're not used to letting teams have the ball, so they're going to be chasing at the bit to get into these Brighton players. And you have to remember, these Brighton players play academy football. It's not that physical, so they're going to be up against it tonight in that aspect.
Long throw in towards Racine on the edge of the 6-yard box. Is going to break at the edge here, and there's the first shot. It's taken a deflection on its way through. Jesse Starkey from the edge.
Yeah, just blocked as it went behind there. It's the first going to test the maturity of these Brighton players to sort of withstand this early period of pressure. They've got a few tall boys in there. Racine, we're just talking about, us up here, but Pattenden's won over it.
Well, he scored in the semi-final the last times these two teams faced in the semi-final of this competition before it was. And there is Racine with a header just past the post. You called it, and there he was.
He is the man they're going to be aiming for at those, the tall centre half. I mean, you look at the Brighton lineup here, they haven't really got a towering figure. Maybe Turns and Jackson provide that height, but they're not Colossus, whereas Racine is, he's much taller than them.
I can't count the number of times I've seen the ball find his head. It's like a magnet in the penalty area, both ends.
Yeah, he's got 6 goals to his name this season. That's a decent return for someone who plays at centre half, and he's probably going to win this one as well, isn't he?
There he is, up in the air. Good challenge between him and Miller. And a chance for Keeley to use his strength to hold off. Armstrong takes over. Pattenden just muscled off the ball there. Spong, an impressive young player himself, manages to hit the assistant as much as Miller wanted to continue.
Yeah, Tom Miller looked like he was going to invite the assistant to join Brighton then. He should be so lucky.
Spong, he's a bright young prospect. He's made his professional debut for the first team as well, hasn't he, this season?
Yeah, he made his debut. In fact, he made his debut against Villa it was a couple of years back, but he's played in the Carabao Cup since then as well. But his speciality is set pieces. He's a maestro from free kicks in and around the area when he's got a goal scoring opportunity. We're seeing him here. He's lining one up for a cross. But if there's any chance tonight of a free kick in and around that Worthing penalty area, you can guarantee that Spong will be the one standing over it. And more often than not, he troubles the keeper. I know he scored a fantastic free kick against Everton earlier this season that won goal of the month for Brighton, but here's a chance on a free kick.
It's a very high line from Worthing, just inviting the ball over the top into the back post. It is headed across goal. Mail there, safe hands. Hinchy was there at the back post to nod it across. Just needed the finishing touch, but here come Worthing on the break. And they've piled 4 players, and they've got an overload on this left-hand side. Pattenden just forced back momentarily. Good defending there from Pupion.
Yeah, just restricted the space, and then Hinchy just getting ahead of Ollie Pearce there to get the foul there. But we have a look back at that chance. It was not at the cross, and Talage and Miller both lurking at the far post, but Harris and Mail did really well just to watch that low header down into his grasp and qualm that Brighton attack.
Well, Harrison Mail's been a real bright spark for in a season full of bright sparks for Worthing, but he has really shone. I've seen a highlight reel of saves he's made this season, and you think he's got a bright future in the game?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Worthing have blessed with having good keepers. They've had a few on loan from Brighton over the recent years, Rocco Rees and Carl Rushworth, but they found Harris Mail, who's
quick kick taken over. Sorry to interrupt you there, as here comes Pattenden, gets the ball through, and offside flag raised against Keeley.
Yeah, almost a chance there. But as I was saying, Harrison Mail, one that's not on loan with them. He had 12 years at Leeds United before joining the 21-year-old. So he's someone who's come through academy football and is a really good shot stopper, and he's been really reliable this season. As the saying goes, like, goals win games, but defences, that they win titles, and that's been proven by Worthing. And he's been a fundamental part of that, as all goalkeepers are.
Yeah, he certainly steps up in the vital moments a couple of times. Big games, as Armstrong gets one right in the back from his opposite number, Hinchy. And a few cheers from the Worthing crowd. There's a large contingent of them down to our right.
Yeah, it's a decent crowd tonight. We've got to see some Brighton fans as well coming out to see the youngsters play down to our left here, and then yeah, you can hear the Worthing fans chanting. They're only here for the Worthing. The chant of the weekend was only here for Ronaldo from the Man United fans, but Worthing...
They weren't, were they?
No, well, they weren't in the end.
Talage getting a nice touch on the ball on the far side. Switcher playing maybe now. We'll see an opportunity for Seeger to clip one down and beyond. Here goes Pupion. Looking to get on the outside to byline, just overrun it slightly. Good defending though. Pattenden chasing back. Not his favoured role in chasing back, but he's done to good effect there.
What's interesting is with Pattenden, he's naturally a winger, but he's actually been used quite often as a right back or a right wing back at times this season. I know in the semi-final he was used in that wing back role, so he is able to make those challenges.
Just for a moment there, I thought he was going to get in, but Turns coming across to make the cover.
Yeah, Turns very, very highly rated at Brighton. He was part of the under-18 setup when he was just 15 years of age, and he's really made a name for himself in the 23s. I know a lot of Brighton fans on social media often looking at him as one to potentially step into the first team in years to come.
Little risk gamble overplayed, and it was eventually given away, and here's a chance now for Miller on the break. Miller looking for support. He's only got Talage up with him at the moment. Slow support coming, and Armstrong was there to read the danger, and Pattenden can lead a break for Worthing. They've got 3 players over the halfway line.
Yeah, great work from Perpion there, just working back to make the tackle, and it's a really frantic start here, Dean.
Absolutely, as ball in for Talage, just over hit, but Pupion's been involved heavily in the early stage of this one.
Yeah, the Australian winger is one that joined from Sydney and is a player of real interest from Shannon Roof and Andrew Crofts in the Brighton dugout. They really like him. He's a versatile player. Again, similar to what I was saying about Pattenden, he's been used at right wing and right back for Brighton this season.
And that's versatility is something that you often see with the younger Brighton setup. They tend to play players in a variety of positions just to sort of test their utility, which makes them adaptable for obviously Graham Potter in the first team.
Yeah, exactly that, and it's flexibility is something that's massive at Brighton. You know, the ability to switch between formations, and looking at it here, it looks like it's more of a back five. We looked at it in forwards back 4, but actually, just looking at it, looks like Furlong's playing almost left centre half and allowing Sturge and Perpion on the wing backs with Jackson and Turns, and it's that ability of players to step into different roles in the team and allow that tactical adaptation. Just to trouble teams and keep them guessing, really.
Well, Spong's finally got a bit of time on the ball. We just take a little moment's breath in this one. Here comes Turns, lovely little ball through. Miller, just inside the area, well tracked, and Worthing should be able to clear. Pattenden up the line, poor clearance from him. Pupion takes over. Spong picks up the loose ball, nice little 1-2. Great football this from Brighton as they look to work a shot from the edge here. There's a spare man on the outside, laid across the face of the 6-yard box. It's going to be turning. Mail comes in, doesn't get there. Miller headed away off the line.
Well, that's fantastic football from the Albion there in the build-up. the exchanges in the middle between Tallard, Moran, and then Sturge got it in, but just Moran trying to hook it towards goal, and then I think Mayo did manage to get maybe a touch there, and Webber just had to watch that one into his head. But really positive play from the Albion there.
Given the position that Miller was in, though, do you think he should have done better? Made a better connection?
Potentially, it just slightly mistimed the contact, didn't it? It wasn't clean. I think Moran maybe thinks he might have been able to do better as well, but still a chance here, and you know how good Spong's deliveries can be.
There's 6 blue and white shirts lined up on the penalty spot, and there's a call for a free kick not given by the referee. Ball still in play, whipped in towards the back post. There's Racine again to head, but only as far as Poupion takes a touch, and took a touch too many. Probably should have hit that first time as Armstrong leads a break. Makes a poor decision with his pass forward, and that leaves Sturge with the ability to lead more attacking pressure for the home team. I say the home team, it's a neutral ground, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not sure, to be fair, not many of these Brighton players would have had the chance to play at the Amex. I know the 23s often play a game here. Some of these, it might be their first experience, I'm not entirely sure, but James Beadle, for one, in the goal tonight, I think might be his first appearance here, but it's a good for them to see, potentially see their future ahead of them. You know, they want to be playing here week in, week out for the first team, and it's chance in competition like this, it's chances to prove themselves as mature players. As I say, it's against a men's team which they're not used to facing in the Premier League 2 and the under-18s Premier League, so a great chance for them to test themselves in a venue like this, and maybe a chance here for Worthing to test them even further.
It was a nice ball into the channel. Keeley really did well to pull off his man. It's Keeley again, picking it up from Sturge. Sturge stuck to his guns and forces out of play for a throw-in to Worthing, which is territorially just give him a bit of a breather. Brighton's just starting to apply the pressure.
Yeah, Brighton have probably started the more positive of the two sides, but you can never rule a counter-attack or a bit of quick build-up play from Worthing. We know what they're capable of.
And that's a risky back pass, but Mal, you always kind of feel confident when the ball's at his feet. Not always the case with goalkeepers, but certainly on that occasion.
No, we see it more and more these days, don't we, that goalkeepers have to be comfortable in possession. We know Adam Hinshelwood likes his team to be able to play good football, so no surprises to see Webber and Racine happy to use Harrison Mayle in the Worthing goal.
Well, Armstrong trying to muscle his way through, but there's some great strength from Turns, who doing his defensive duties and showing a bit of strength, the youngster.
Yeah, and
Armstrong's no slouch.
No, Armstrong, he's always going to be one to press it and get stuck in, as will most of this Worthing side, and that's what Turns has to be
offside flag
aware of.
There. Nothing yet raised, and Worthing will play on. Seeger back to Mayle again. This time goes long. Keeley challenging for it, won by the head of Jackson. And Brighton can just start and build another attack from the back. Plenty of space for Pepe on this near side, just pulling away from Pattenden, who's seemingly been tasked to man marking, as Worthing look to have changed their formation to line up opposite them.
It looks like both sides have gone into a 3 or /5. With for Worthing, it's Reece, Miles, Meekers on the right, and Pattenden on this left-hand side. So it's interesting to see that both teams have matched each other up, and both teams are really looking to use the width and the full expanse of this Amex pitch.
And with battles like this, where the game at this stage looks like it will be won and lost, and on that occasion, Poupion a little bit too overzealous in the challenge. It gives away a free kick in a promising attacking position for Brighton. Good defensive work from Pattenden.
Just a little bit eager from Poupion, but good awareness from Jasper Pattenden, just to get his body in the way there and win the foul for his side and relieve a little bit of pressure.
And that's the ball on every time, just into the channel. They're looking for Keeley to run off, and he'll happily accept the throw-in down there. A chance to throw a long one into the box. I'd imagine possibly Seeger will come up to take this, or maybe we'll leave it for Pattenden, who's got a long throw on his own accord.
In fact, I think Webber's even trotting up there. They're packing the box here. Like I said, I think it was Pearce, then Pattenden, and now Webber's the one trotting out to take it. And pretty much everyone forward for Worthing, apart from a couple left back, Starkey and Colburn left back. But Webber's going to line one up here.
And I'd imagine Racine's head will be the target. He's lined up in a bit of a wrestling match in the corner of the 6-yard box, and it is Racine who flicks the ball on. Well, that was the intention anyway. Miller half gets it away, and surely now Moran can. And instead he goes for the short passes. Brighton comfortable with the ball, comfortable with possession, happy to play it around, and could play themselves into trouble. Again, referee waves away the protest, and there's a break over here. Pupion's pulled away from Pattenden. It's worked out to Turns. Eventually gets out to Pupion, but by the time the pass was eventually played, Worthing had regrouped and reshaped, and now Brighton have to start all over again. Yeah, it's a really tense tactical battle.
Yeah, it is, and I think we're going to see this a lot. Like, Brighton are going to want to play their way out of trouble, but if they don't feel that the opportunity is there to make an incisive attack, they're going to take their time with the build-up. Shannon Roof and Andrew Cross down the touchline will be just more than happy to see them keeping the ball for long spells. But the difference from Worthing is that they're gonna try and attack as soon as they pounce on any mistakes from Brighton. But good recovery from Spong. That's
an excellent recovery tackle from Spong, and once again he doesn't waste a pass. It's a good pass forwards. It's not it's deliberate. It's forward planned, and now Brighton looking to build up on the far side. That's an unfortunate Sturge on the far side. Hasn't quite got into the game yet in the opening 15 minutes.
No, and Sturge is a real talent. Now, he's been involved in several England camps, under 18s, and he's actually one that's been looked at, I think, by Bundesliga sides. I know his contract, I think it's either up this summer or next summer, and I know I read that Wolfsburg and Bayer Leverkusen have been interested in him, and he doesn't actually seem that keen on staying on the south coast. So he's clearly one with talent and big hopes, but yeah, just hasn't really been able to get involved tonight. Most of the passage of play from Brighton has been down this near side.
Just a foul there from Keeley, going through the back of Spong as he looked to lead another Brighton break. Bit of cat and mouse. Nice shake of the hands and a bit of respect between the two teams. Not quite sure why Dan Austin's having a word with Keeley on that occasion, but we'll get back on with the game. As expected, short. Jackson with plenty of time to pick a pass. Turns with a bit of space, and everyone now grouped into the middle third of the Worthing half. Down the line to Miller. Looks for the first time, ball through. Pupion just muscled off the ball, looking for the free kick, not getting it. Good strong defending from Seeger.
Yeah, not sure there's too much in that one. We'll have another look here. Miller just got a nice reverse pass to Pupion, and it just
eased him off the ball. It's one of those on another day.
Yeah, it's slightly in the back, but I think it's just strength more than anything else. I don't think there's any malice or intent to foul Pupion there from Will Seeger, but again, it's this near side where we're seeing Pupion and Miller link up. As I say, both naturally wingers. Pupion playing at that wing-back role, but even now, just looking at the bottom of our view, we see Miller dropping the deeper. So,
well, they've got two over because Miller's pulled over and two on Pattenden. If Brighton can work the ball over and switch play, and instead, Jackson goes to the far side, to the left-hand side, as we're looking on. And Brighton will be used to this. They'll be used to being patient. They'll be used to keeping the ball, and they'll be happy playing this style.
That's what academy football is. I've watched a lot of it this season at West Ham for their under-23s, and this is what academy football is. Working around playing really technical football. There's not a lot of direct physical play. It's all about the going through the different phases and the build-up play. So they're more than happy. They'll take it slow, because that's what they're used to and that's what they want. You know, they want to develop players that are comfortable in possession. So we see them knocking around the back, and that's, as I say, more than happy to do that. And it's just whether they can actually ignite attacks from those periods of possession at the back and try and manufacture opportunities.
Well, and also it tires out the opposition. I think a few times in this competition alone, they've scored the majority of their goals in the second half.
Yeah, in the semi-final, it was a fine second half performance. I think on that occasion it was Horsham. Yeah, Hayward Steven, in the first round they absolutely demolished. I think it was maybe 2-0 at half time, if my memory serves me correctly. They ran away with it in the second half, and it was in the semi-final. It was, even though they were 3-1 up, it never looked in doubt. Like, it's not a wipe the floor scoreline, but it never seemed in doubt that they were going to be the ones to get through. But a chance here for Starkey to deliver from the free kick.
Absolutely, with the two-handed raise means it's going towards the back post, and it's a turn for Beadle to come and claim, show his authority in the penalty area.
Yeah, he's a real special keeper. I know a lot of teams interested in him, but he chose the South Coast. Maybe a chance at a counter-attack here.
A
That's
better ball
just
there
over
from
here.
Talage, and there were two players over there, Miller and Moran, both in acres of space. A better ball through, and Brighton were in.
Yeah, exactly. They had a little overload there on the near side, and it's again. I keep saying it, but the right-hand side is looking like the place where Brighton are going to be able to exploit. Pattenden playing at left wing back, but he seems just to be probably.
He's not getting any support in the middle of the park, is he?
He's playing a little high as well positionally. He's going to be keen to get forward, which can help. But as they look for him now, I think Cameron Perpion's had to be the one to track back, and it falls to Turns eventually.
Well, Turns did well, just because Armstrong was coming in on that occasion. Pepion looks to carry a break, but he overran that. That's
Seeger just getting in there.
Lovely little back heel. Here goes Keeley. Keeley just tries to slide that ball through in between the two defenders.
Yeah, Meekums it was. Miles Meekums lurking on that right channel, trying to get away from Zach Sturge, but the ball just slightly too narrow. Look, Keeley tried to slip it through and just allowed Sturge to come and cover that pass.
It was a wonderful flick from Pearce in the first instance, and he goes down there looking for a free kick, but he's straight back on his feet, and Worthing still can work something on the right-hand side. Sturge saw the pass. Miles Meekums just caught on his heels. He also, on that far side, hasn't really got involved in the game. Was something that you'd expect as their player of the year.
Yeah, he's one that's loved at Woodside Road. Might be a chance here for him to get involved, but
Keeley got it through the legs of Jackson, was it?
I think it was, yeah.
Whipped in, Turns, watches it all the way, and now Jackson, calm and composed again, finds the ball to Spong, and that's almost the perfect pass. Racine read it.
Yeah, Moran and Talage either side of Racine there, and if Spong got that pass off, they had a two-on-one situation, but Spong just uncharacteristically unable to find the pass through. Usually very accurate and pinpoint with his forward passing.
Well, 0-0, 21 minutes gone here at the American Express Community Stadium. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Worthing 0. Mail goes long up towards Pearce. Pearce beaten to it in the air. And he's yet to get really involved again. He's been the goal machine for Worthing.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
season.
he's
38 goals.
38 goals, yeah. 38 goals, and I think it's just over 40 appearances for Worthing this season. Unbelievable statistics. It doesn't matter what level you play at. If you score that many goals a season, you must be doing something right. You know, your finishing ability has got to be spot on. Your movement's got to be up to standard. So he hasn't got involved in yet. But you just know if a chance falls to him, the chance are he's gonna gobble up and take that chance. So it doesn't matter if he's not involved. If he's on the score sheet at the end of the night and Worthing left a trophy, it won't matter. You know, that's what strikers are about. Just getting those important goals in important matches like this.
Well, there's Keeley dropping deep, and he's looking for the run of Miles Meekums, who for the first time has got the run on the Brighton defence. Meekums looking for the run of Pearce, and there is Pearce with a back heel. Here comes Meekums into the air. It's going to be a penalty. It is a penalty. Referee Dan Austin had no hesitation pointing to the spot. Clear foul.
Yeah, it's excellent play between Keeley and Meekums. Brilliant give and go. You watch here.
We were just talking about the two players not being involved.
Yeah, and suddenly that's what you just have a moment like that, and he cuts in, and look at that from Pearce. Oh, brilliant! And then Meekums feels the contact. I think it might be Hinchy. Is it? No, yeah, Hinchy. Jack Hinchy made the foul, but what? It's that intensity. Like we've been saying that Brighton have that slow build-up play, but Worthing just got away with the opportunity just to fire into gear, and here is the man we're just talking about, Ollie Pearce, and this is the opportunity that I've just been saying. This could be an important moment. He hasn't had too much yet, but this is a golden opportunity from the spot.
Midway in the first half, a chance for Ollie Pearce to give Worthing the lead here against Brighton Hove Albion in the Sussex Senior Cup final. He looks calm, composed, takes a deep breath, and then curls it into the far corner, sends the keeper the wrong way. He puts the traditional finger to his lips, and there they are celebrating down by the corner flag. It's Brighton Hove Albion 0, Worthing 1.
Yeah, what a well-struck penalty. We've just been saying it. He's the man who's fired them to promotion in the league title this season. He hasn't had a chance in the game yet. And we said he only needs one, and he set them on their way to getting the trophy here this evening. Sent Beadle the wrong way and just curled it into that bottom right-hand corner and then slid over.
There are certain players you know are going to score a penalty, and the way he stood, you knew exactly where he was going to put it. He knew exactly where he was going to put it, and James Beadle, even if it gets the right way, wouldn't have got there, I don't think.
Yeah, very convincing penalty. You know, we spoke about his calibre from well, not from the spot, just in front of goal in general, and he's not going to pass up on an opportunity like that. And it's, I mean, it's been probably, you'd probably say Brighton have edged the first 25 minutes or so. Worthing haven't really created too much, but it doesn't matter. You know, we said that Brighton are going to be the ones to dominate, and they have, but Worthing are going to get those chances. They're going to be clinical, and that's exactly what's happened there.
Well, that's what we've kind of seen. We've seen this sort of cat and mouse, but when the two teams, the attacking sort of three, have a chance to get the ball in the last third, we've seen it once with Brighton earlier on, and we've seen it once now with Worthing, and that's the difference.
Yeah, exactly that.
There
might be a chance here for Talage.
It's broken clear of his man. He's in the box. He's got three players in there. He said he goes for goal in his own. Sturridge with the rebound. Gonna be. Oh, what a poor effort. Had to be. And then
Moran.
the free kick given. Moran.
He's got to score. He's got to score. And he holds his head in his hands. He's got to score there. Talage probably should do better in the first place, to be honest with you.
Well, Talage made the wrong choice. He had three Brighton players in the box. He went for goal himself.
He
Saved well by Mal at
it.
the near post.
It was.
We just need to see that again. Did Moran just open his foot? Got it all wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see again here, but Talage, I think, has to pull that one across there. The angle's not there on his left foot, but here, he just hasn't made the contact. He's barely made the contact, Moran. You can already see it, his face there, the anguish.
Well, Sturridge made the great pass. He kept his cool and kept himself composed at the time when another player might have rushed at that one.
What a big moment that could have been. They really need that response. An immediate response would have been ideal for them, and it was.
Well, here comes Spong again, and free kick given for the foul on Hinchy.
Yeah, Brian.
I'm not sure Spong was happy about that.
No, but Brian looked like they just had a little bit of a kick up the rear. Yes, yeah. Just from that, we've seen them be quite passive in their approach so far, with a few moments of attack. But now it looks like suddenly they're like, hold on a minute, these guys need to be taken seriously. They might be playing a non-league, but they can play, you know.
Well, we're Worthing going to face many stern tests next season in the National League South, of course. Getting promotion this season, there's some similarities to the last time we were in the final. That was against Eastbourne Borough back in 2016. It's already gone better than it did that day. Eastbourne Borough won that final by 1-0. And here goes Ollie Pearce, just getting in behind Jackson, but he was just stolen a march too early. Offside flag goes up, and I think on first glance, rightly so.
Yeah, it looked like it. We'll see again here. I mean, it's hard to see from the angle, but he is ahead of Jackson there. So I think he did just set off slightly early there, Ollie Pearce. He's one that will probably likes to play a little bit deeper. Callum Keeley often the one to play a little bit higher, but.
Well, I'm surprised at how high Armstrong's playing. He's the one that seems to be leading the press and putting the pressure on the Brighton back three.
I think Adam Hinchelwood likes the energy of Marvin Armstrong. You know, he's someone who will work hard for the team, as will, as I say, everyone on this Worthing team. But interesting to see that out of possession, he's the one initiating that press, and they've just left a little gap there, and Spong's got time to pick a pass.
I think that's the first time Spong's had real space just from a simple pass from the back in the first sort of half an hour of this game.
Yeah, he just picks up a nice little space. Starkey dropped off in the right side of that central midfield, and I don't think Pearce really dropped in and covered that space, and Spong just saw it but couldn't quite pick the passes. Turns picking out a Lewis Dunk style pass there, we'll say.
almost a Lewis Dunk style pass, as Sturridge couldn't quite chest it and keep it in play. Well, it's certainly set us up for an intriguing one, with Worthing taking the lead. Gives us more of a competitive feel. It means Brighton are going to have to come out at some point and sort of revert away from this keep possession football.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, Worthing have got that early lead, and that's going to Brighton is going to have to change their approach just slightly and be a bit more keen out of possession with the press, and a little bit more forward thinking with the ball. So it'll be interesting to see how Shannon Roof and Andrew Crofts change their setup. But Worthing's still looking
They're
for
winning
more.
the second ball at the moment, every time. And here comes Pattenden, looking to take on Pepion. And this is where he wants to be, on his left foot, petting the ball across the face of goal. And Pepion stuck to his task, got the block.
Good recovery. You watched Pattenden all the way. It looked for a moment that Pattenden was just going to be able to skip away from him as he stood him up. Just there, but then Pepion really did well to get that sliding block in and deny that low cross, because it could have caused trouble, but might be a chance here again. I'm sure they've been looking for the beacon that is Aaron Racine.
Well, he's lined up just outside of the penalty spot as Pattenden does curl it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's flicked on. Should be recycled though. It's gone all the way back to Armstrong. He's the deepest outfield player for Worthing. And he'll just allow the players to regroup. If they'd played it forward, there was about 4 red shirts offside.
Yeah, Racine's actually stayed forward here, so I think they're going to try and launch another ball in. That's a great ball.
Tries to get played in behind. Well watched once again by Turns, who was covered really well, and he's won the free kick. It's he hasn't really put a foot out of place, Turns.
No, not really. I don't think he wasn't really involved in the goal at all. He's an assured presence on the right side of this back three for Brighton, and he recently got his call up to the Welsh under-21 squad, the centre half. So someone that clearly is talented and Brighton can rely on. Maybe I was surprised maybe not to see a Hayden Roberts start tonight on his birthday, but maybe a chance here again for Brighton to attack.
She does really well, played the 1-2 and then plays out to Sturgeon. Here is the chance for Talage! Oh, what a hit from Talage! Above the outstretched right hand of Harrison Mayle in the Worthing goal. Talage has levelled things here. It's Brighton Hove Albion 1, Worthing 1, and what a hit from Talage.
Wow, emphatic from Talage. We saw him miss that opportunity early on, but he has absolutely thundered that one in his left foot. He scored 4 in the second round of this competition in that 6-0 win against Haywards Heath, and you can see why. He's involved in the build-up and then continues his run forward. And look at this. Bang. One touch. Harrison Mayle, no chance in the Worthing goal, and it's 1-1.
Absolute power, absolute thunderbolt of a goal, and that's worth coming here for alone as he cups his hands to the fans who have been giving a little bit of jip down there, the Worthing fans down to our right. Oh, what a hit though. And Hinchy probably atoned for him giving away the penalty there, because he was heavily involved in the build-up. Played the little 1-2, first with Talage and then got it out to Sturge. And once again, it was good delivery from Sturge as Worthing looked to respond immediately at the other end. Keeley once again has his cross blocked, and Turns and Pepion on this near side. A good double team.
Yeah, but what I love about that goal is the movement from Talage. He receives it and then lays it off first time just inside the Worthing half. Then his natural instinct is just to run towards goal and get himself into the area. He sprints forward, and it's a great ball across. I think Sturge put it across, and then on his weaker foot and his left foot just absolutely cracks it home. And honestly, there's no keeper saving that. The power is phenomenal on that.
You wouldn't know it was his weaker foot, would you? And that's sort of come out the hands rather strangely from Webber, and Miller can lead a break. Moran gets it out to Sturge.
Yeah, numbers forward.
2 men over, and one of them, if they could be found, oh, he's just delayed the pass. There was opportunity to play it through to this near side. Instead, Sturge has carried on his run. 3 players in the box. Can the cross deliver? It can towards the back post, and it's off the top of the bar. Almost a whisker away from Miller. He was always free on this near side, just waiting for the ball to come over to him.
Yeah, excellent delivery from James Furlong. Just evaded Webber at the far post, then Miller nodded it back towards goal, and Mayle was absolutely rooted in his spot. Nothing he could do with that was dropping below the crossbar, but fortunately for Worthing, it just bounced off the top.
It was almost underneath it, wasn't it? But when the ball came to him, he had his feet planted on the floor underneath it. But another warning sign there for Worthing.
I'll tell you what, that penalty from Worthing that gave them the lead has really opened this game up. Suddenly, Brighton are flowing and firing forwards, and
it's like they've unleashed the beast.
Yeah, it really is. They've increased the tempo massively. It was quite slow and passive at the beginning, but they've just kicked in, gone a little bit more direct. I mean, they're piling numbers forward there as well. There's plenty of options when I think it was Sturgeon and Furlong were carrying it forward on the left-hand side there.
Absolutely. Well, let's see how Worthing respond to that, whether there'll be a slight tactical shift or whether they'll just try and take the sting out of the game, and certainly taking their time over this throw-in. And there's a free kick given there. Didn't look to be too much from first glance from up here.
No, just a high boot, but to be honest, there weren't many process from Brighton players either, so maybe it was a good call from the referee, Dan Austin.
Oh yeah, there was
a little
boot
bit
in the face.
There's no malice in that. I think he's just been blindsided. He's watched the ball come across, then gone to win it, and
that's
just
not
taken
good.
a blow.
Pearce needing a bit of treatment there as well. Yeah, never like to see that. Worthing's goal scorer, Ollie Pearce, catching one, a nasty one on the side of the face there.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be okay to continue as we see a number of substitutes down on the touchline. Deshaun Golding, one of those warming
the
up.
obvious choice probably
Yeah,
to come on.
he would be. He's a little bit different. He's taller, he's bigger, more of a target man.
Well, look at the Worthing fans that have travelled in their numbers along the south coast. All 9 train stops, or maybe 8. No, but I don't know.
Something like that.
Something like that anyway. Depends which train you get. Plenty of them, though, pack themselves into the Amex down in the west stand below us here.
Yeah, you know, I love to see when Talage scored that goal, going over and cupping his ears. I love to see that little rivalry. It means something to him. Do you know what I mean? It's great to see that. I'm sure Worthing would be disappointed to see the goal go in, the fans, but they must like to see a little bit of a give back from the opponents. Is always fun, and it's
that's
all
always
in
one
good
of the
spirit.
things about the non-league football that is sort of inviting a bigger crowd, because they love that involvement and love that interaction with the players that you don't now get in the higher stages of the game.
Yeah, it's that authenticity, isn't it, with non-league, that you can go down, you can be right up on the touchline, you can have a beer on the touchline, chat to your mates. It's that personal, up close and personal feel about it that really intrigues and attracts the fans. But the Worthing fans out in force tonight at a stadium that maybe not as up close and personal as they would be at Woodside Road, but still a great occasion for them to travel out here. Starkey was going to deliver this one.
Well, Pearce had to go off the pitch. He's back on his feet, but Starkey will deliver this without him, and Racine is beaten to it by the fist of James Beadle.
Yeah, Superman dive from Beadle.
It was. That's one that you want the old camera on that one. Picture perfect. And Pearce is back on the pitch, does fire one in. Bounces awkwardly. Beadle watched it all the way.
Yeah, it would have been quite something if he was to connect with that one. Tom Miller's getting away on this. I think he might be just offside, yeah.
Yeah, he just pulled away too early.
the cheers from the Worthing fans.
There's been numerous references to Cucurella from the Worthing fans to Miller. And let's just see. There it is in full action.
Yeah.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's James Beadle.
It's great goalkeeping. Even though it looks like it's one for the cameras, it's necessary. Racine was lurking. He does well to get there ahead of the Worthing captain and just clear it out of immediate danger.
Here, Keeley just pulling away a couple of times away, and it looks like Furlong is the man trying to keep tabs on him, and he really was wanting the ball played in early from Webber. That didn't occur, but it's something to watch out for. They're looking for that ball over the top. It's a slight change of tactic if they go that direct onto that side of the pitch.
Yeah, Brighton's got to be aware of that. You know, as a back three, you'd hope they'd have one, maybe Ben Jackson in the middle, just dropping off a little bit deeper to cover the depth that's left behind by Turns and Furlong either side of him.
Well, Pupion looking to use his pace to get in ahead of Webber. Holds off the challenge of Pattenden, and then Pattenden does well to recover.
Just needed some support there, Cameron Pepper, and he just got stuck in a corner. Didn't really have any option.
He just pulled out of that one, and I don't think there was much in that one, because he definitely pulled out and didn't fancy the 50-50.
Yeah, looked more exasperated and frustrated with that one than he did with the one where he actually connected with Ollie Pearce. I mean, we'll see here. He thought about it, didn't he? And then just
pulled out. And maybe knowing he's on a yellow card, didn't want to run the risk.
Yeah. There's not too much on there. He just clipped the knee of Reece Miles Meekham's there. Didn't actually look like he was going to sort of put studs on his foot, but didn't in the end. But just over 5 minutes left of the half. I think it's still. I don't really know which way it's going to go. Like neither team has really shown they're going to outshine the other one. Both teams putting together some good passages of play, but.
It's
a really good game.
fascinatingly poised. It is like a game of chess, but far more exciting. As Pearce looks to... Oh, sorry, that was Keeley over on the far side, looked to play the give and go with Miles Meekham's. Sturge sticking to his task. Worthing just sort of that injury has taken a bit of the sting out of the game and came at a good time for Worthing as Brighton were building up ahead of steam.
Yeah, I'm just looking ahead to half-time. I'm not sure if either team would particularly want it or not want it. I think, as you say, it's very, very evenly poised. So
that's an awkward throw-in and a possible chance for Talage to get in, and he has pulled away. Talage to make it 2 on his left foot, makes no mistake. Fine finish into the corner, past Harrison Mayle, and Brighton have a 2-1 lead. They've turned this one around, and he's interestingly struggling to take his top off and celebrate and goad the fans down in that corner. It looks a bit awkward in the celebration. He's going to get booked for it, but what a fine finish.
Nothing awkward about a finish though. Again, his left foot, you saw he managed to break 3 and then just lined it up just outside the edge of the area. Could have kept going, but decided to take the shot early. Just got in behind Seeger. You look here, looking up, and then go. And he's arrowed it into that bottom left-hand corner. It's a really smart finish from Talage, and he really enjoyed that celebration.
Didn't he just?
He took the GPS off as well. There he goes.
Interesting is the way that he curled it around. So Mel never had a chance to get his hand to it. It curled away from there. But what a poor throw-in. I mean, Seeger had absolutely no chance to deal with that throw. Bounced at an awkward height, bounced off him, and just that quickly. This is the class of this Brighton Hove Albion under-23 team. They capitalise on a mistake and they'll punish you. Yeah,
so clinical. And Laurent Talage is one of those. He went out on loan to Cambridge back in January and didn't quite work out for him. 4 sub-appearances and before he was recalled. But he's made his name tonight, and we know that he's such a good finisher. And both finishes have been different types of finishes, but both with the same result. And we're just saying neither team would want half-time, but now gives a different team talk for both managers now with Brighton going in ahead, or ahead for now.
This plays firmly into Brighton's hands. Having the lead here, they'll surely look to hit Worthing on the breakers. They'll try and draw them out, which they've already done a couple of times already. A Sturge little infield pass. Worthing happy to just sit off Brighton and maybe just play out the final 4 minutes or so.
Well, they've changed the approach here.
That's going to be a free kick, or the referee's going to play advantage as Racine takes over.
Yeah, really good from Colburn there, just to hold off his man.
They've left the man up, and that's going to be advantage played. Armstrong going through. He's 1-on-1, gets on the outside. He's looking for support, lays it back for Keeley. Keeley on the edge! Just over the top.
Yeah, it's really good play from Armstrong just to carry them forward there, and he took his time waiting for the support. It came in the shape of Keeley because it didn't really open up for Armstrong, did it? But then it came back to Keeley, and he just decided to set it out and hit it first time with just too much on it and over the crossbar.
Just the eyes lit up, just got a bit carried away. Similar style finish to Laurent Talage's, but not quite the same accuracy.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe just because the frantic nature of the game, the last sort of 10 or so minutes, that Keeley just thought it was worth having a pop, and it probably was worth having a go. You know, he's seen Talage, but went down the other end. He wants to get his name on the score sheet. Almost did, but it wasn't troubling Beadle at all there.
I have to give credit to the referee Dan Austin there for playing advantage and allowing Armstrong to play through. Many referees would have blown up in that situation. That's a lovely little dummy. And Pattenden, Hinchy, battling Pattenden. That one went back and forward, and that's a strong challenge.
Perpion's going to have words.
Yeah.
Pierce just saying, no, chill out, man, it's all good.
Pepion's having none of that, is he?
He was straight up in Ollie Pierce's face there.
I think Pierce is going to get booked for that challenge. Armstrong trying to plead his case, but I think the referee got his yellow card out long before he called Pierce over. Yeah,
we just seen a few forceful challenges coming in from both sides towards the end of this half, and
well, that's a typical Pierce challenge.
Yeah, it's a striker's challenge. Well, it's a little bit of frustration maybe after having the lead and then so quickly suddenly turning around and now being behind.
Well, just over a minute or so to go to half-time. Brighton with a goal lead, but the offside flag up against Miller, who was certainly the target for those Worthing fans.
Yeah, they absolutely love it, don't they? Every time that flag goes up, they're getting their jeers out. Heard them chanting, saying after Talage's celebration that was it. That was embarrassing, but I don't think so. I like to see him taking the competition seriously. He gets his top off. Loves the passion.
Of course, it doesn't mean he's on a yellow card. He's got to be careful along with Hinchy.
I do think perhaps a questionable decision only going when you're only 1 goal ahead inside the first half, but whatever floats your boat, really.
Well, Mal on his left foot clears it long. On his wrong foot, Armstrong, it's over his head. Miller beaten to it in the air. Keeley with the layoff. Here goes Pattenden. Pearce had pulled off. It's got Keeley in the middle. Pearce is still there, looking for the cross from the byline. Cuts it back well. There's a free man. Armstrong, it's over his head. Brilliant composure. Fired over the top. The finish didn't match the quality that preceded it.
Yeah, lovely build-up play. Then Joel Colburn just unable to apply the finish. Really good work from Keeley on the edge of the area. And then Pearce dug out the cross and it came to Colburn. And unfortunately, that's brilliant. But then it's a fullback's finish, isn't it, really, on his weaker side.
And there's a reason why certain players don't play up front.
Yeah, he probably started up front when he was about 9 years old and just worked his way back. But yeah, a good opportunity. But I don't really want this half to end, to be honest, Dean.
We've only got 2 minutes, so let's enjoy every second of them. As we approach, and I think it's fair to say Brighton will be the happy of the two teams, certainly having come from behind. But Pearce is gone for the spectacular from just inside the centre circle, and that's just about it. Yeah,
he was off balance. I'm not sure that one was ever gonna really trouble James Beadle.
Not like the optimism.
Yeah, I like the optimism too, but I wouldn't mind seeing a cracker like that. But yeah, I'm not sure Adam Hinshaw will be too pleased with that cheap giveaway of possession, in all honesty.
Well, Turns and Beadle now look like we know what Brighton's tactics are for the remaining minute or so of this stoppage time. They're just happy to play it out, and Worthing potentially happy to let them, or maybe just wait for Brighton player to take their eye off the ball. Spong, oh, lovely ball round the corner. Sturgis carried his run, he's onside, or is he? No. Belated flag raised by the assistant down on this near side. It has to be said, on first glance, I thought he was onside.
Yeah, it did look close. Sturge was finding some space just as Turns and Beadle were knocking around at the back there, and he finally got the pass over to him. But yeah, according to the linesman, just offside. I'm not sure. I couldn't see from here, to be honest, the angle of it. But trust the linesman.
Always trust the assistant referee. They like to be
called. Oh, assistant referee. I'm sorry for the degrading comment on the lines person.
There's a ball down the line looking for Keeley. Angle was wrong, but just invited Jackson to have to deal with it. Armstrong beaten to it. Miller got it at the second attempt, and Puppion has carried on his run down the touchline. He's going to do well to keep this in, and he does keep it in. And he's charging down towards the penalty area. Little check back. Puppion on his left foot. Squares it to the edge of the area. Here's Spong, lines one up, curls it. Always set his sight out wide, and it never quite bent in enough.
He's usually good at those, wrapping them towards the far corner. But there's the half-time whistle.
Well, a half-time full of entertainment, and thankfully full of goals. Ollie Pearce's penalty gave Worthing the lead just midway inside the first half. Then a couple of fantastic strikes from Laurent Talage just turned this game on its head. And the half-time score here at the American Community Stadium is Brighton Hove Albion 2, Worthing 1. So,
yeah, just look back at them here. Here's that early chance. I think it was that one where Moran was unable to get the finish, then Miller tried to prod it.
Looking it back again there, he's got to do better.
Yeah, and then Moran had that other chance before, didn't he? I'm sure we'll see that at some point where he was unable to get the contact.
So we'll see the replay now of the decision to award the penalty. It was good play from Worthing. It's the first time they really played it from the back and played all the way through the Worthing backline. It's the first time they made an attack over on that right-hand side, and it was that lovely little back heel from Pearce into the path of Miles Meekham's, and actually the contact is outside the area.
Look, I didn't catch that the first time, but it's very close to that line, isn't it? But
first glance, we all caught penalty.
Yeah, and maybe I don't know, because it continued into the area, maybe the referee's given the penalty based on that, but nonetheless, Pearce dispatched with ease.
Calm, composed, and absolutely was never going to miss, right inside the corner, inside the post. And at that time, we wondered how this game was going to shape up. We wondered what was Brighton's response going to be. We knew they were going to have to come out and play. We knew they were going to have to come out and fight. And we wondered We wondered if that was going to play into Worthing's hands, but it didn't. It spurred Brighton
yeah,
on.
it spurred Brighton on, and we have a look back here. This is that Moran chance we touched on earlier. They really suddenly kicked themselves into gear, and it looked like this was going to be the equaliser, but Moran just unable to apply the finish eventually. But as you say, it really got them going, didn't it? And wasn't too long before they got the equaliser.
No, and when it came, it was a thing of beauty. A wonderful finish, good build-up play, Hinchy, Sturge, and then the goal scorer, Talage. What a thunderous finish that is! Left-footed, just inside the box.
Yes, it's excellent from Lauren Talage just to smash it beyond the keeper and the cup tiers.
And that was for the miss, obviously, that he from the preceding chance. Then it was almost within 2 minutes. That header from Miller clipping the top of the bar.
Yeah, it never looked like it was going to go in there. One just didn't quite get the right purchase on the header. But then it wasn't too long after that. Yeah, just put into trouble there was Seeger, and then
just loose touch. And
Talage, good spin.
Yeah, Miller with a great first-time ball. We sort of forget his contribution, and that's a real cool, composed finish. Curled it outside the outstretched arm of Mail.
Yeah, and the highlight of the half, him struggling to get his his jersey off, but he eventually did.
There'll be a GIF or meme going around on social media with that, I'm pretty sure, within...
Balotelli-esque almost, it reminds me of.
There it is, just in case you missed it the first time, or the second or third. But he was enjoying himself, and quite rightly he should, because he's the difference maker as we are in the half-time interval.
Yeah, he's been the man that has given them the lead. He's been the clinical finisher that we spoke about pre-game, and it has been the difference. I mean, Worthing haven't had too many opportunities. They've had that one from the spot and a few set pieces, but haven't really had
the Keeley's effort just before the end of the half. Maybe that would be the one other chance, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's a half
chance. At the back post, Colburn shooting over.
Again, they're half chances more than clear-cut chances, you know. And Brighton have had the best of it in terms of an attacking sense. But Worthing, they won't be disheartened by that half. By no means. They played very well, and they did test the Brighton defence. But I think Adam Hinch will just want them to get out the Brighton defence a bit more, try and get a little bit more physical with them, because they're not really testing Jackson and Turns and Furlong in a physical sense at the back. Maybe some changes. Golding might come on and try and change things up.
I say Golding's the obvious change to come on. They've obviously got the experience of Bud and Cox both there to add a bit of. I mean, there's certainly some experience between those two players. I don't know. I wouldn't even know the combined age, but it would certainly be in the late 70s. The combined age of those two. Starkey and Parsons again. You're looking on the bench. Golding's the obvious call out if you were going to bring someone on from the Worthing bench. For Brighton, I guess you think more of the same and see where that pressure comes and pick them off.
Yeah, I think so. I think the subs will change the game in this half. I think Worthing have probably got a little bit more firepower off the bench in attacking sense. Although Brighton have got Baker Boassi and Marcus Iffil who can also change the game if needs be. But I don't think Shannon Roof or Andrew Cross will be really considering too many changes as of yet. It's going well for them. Everyone's playing their part. But yeah, I think Worthing will come out and they'll just try and get at it a little bit more. I think that's what I'll be saying to the players if I was in the dressing room. Not that I'm qualified to do so, but
I heard you were a bit of a football scout back in the day.
Yeah, you know, back in the day, I do have a little bit of knowledge here and there, but not quite on the level of Adam Hinchell would. But he's a great manager, and I'm sure he'll be saying the right things in the dressing room to get them up for the second half.
And this Brighton Hove Albion team, who is in charge? Because obviously there's the under-18s, under-23s. There's the, who's going to have the final say, do you think?
I think it's an interesting strategy. They've got Shannon Roof, who sort of heads up the 23s and the 18s as a whole, as a sort of a segment. And then Crofts usually leads the 23s. But obviously this is a little bit of a mix of players. I think they'll work really well together. You know, Crofts spent last year playing as part of Shannon Roof's team as that overage player, and they've got a really good working relationship. I think Shannon Roof has been the one mainly in this competition to guide them, so I'm sure he'll be the most vocal voice. But, you know, I think Crofts is going to have a say as well. I think Jack Spong as well their captain will be having a few words also. So they'll get that message across. I think they'll be pleased and they'll want more of the same. But yeah, I think they've got a good setup there, and hopefully that they can get a message across to their players.
Well, whilst we've been talking here, the pitch has had a bit of a soaking. looking to continue that quick-flowing passing football, which we saw on occasions, but maybe not as much as we were expecting in that first half, which was a little bit cagey on times.
Yeah, it was a start where I expected to see a bit more higher tempo football, but Brighton were quite slow initially, but then it kicked into gear, and now with the pitch nice and slick, hopefully we see some good football in the second half.
Well, absolutely. We're going to turn you over some adverts, and we'll be joining you momentarily for the second half of the Sussex Senior Cup final, where it's currently Brighton Hove Albion 2, Worthing 1. Well, a very warm welcome back to the Amex Community Stadium, where the half-time score in the Sussex Senior Cup finals, Brighton Hove Albion 2, Worthing 1. The players out ready to start the second half, and we're potentially expecting to see a change. We saw Deshaun Golding warming up rather heavily during the interval play, didn't we, Jake?
Yeah, and he is coming in here, just getting checked. And we thought it might be for Pearce or Keeley, but actually just trying to see who he's taken off here.
We're trying to count the numbers.
It's a Seeger, so it's an attacking change. So it's Will Seeger's gone off, and Golding's going to come on. So that's just going to...
So it's three at the back. Colburn, Racine, Webber will make up a back three. Miles Meekums and Patterson will go wing back with Armstrong and Starkey.
Yeah, potentially. I think that's how it's going to go. And that's we spoke about Worthing wanting to get a little bit more physical, and Golding's going to give them that more of that presence.
He's a player well known down on the south coast. Had a relatively good spell with Lewis before joining Worthing last season.
Yeah.
And he's another player that knows where the goal is.
Yeah, he is known in Sussex. Also had a spell at Hastings a few years ago. Was good at Lewis. Made the move to Worthing in search of higher league football. Obviously same division as Lewis, but Worthing looked more set for success. And he's someone who can add goals. He's got 10 goals to his name this season. We're looking to add a few more. But
well, look at this. Worthing have lined up 5 players on the halfway line to the left-hand side. I think we know where this ball's going to go.
I think it might go to that far side, but we'll see here.
Okay, there's the touch.
Patton's going to launch it, surely.
He's not been allowed to, and all of that. Or maybe that was letting us all into a full sense of security as to start the second half. Oh dear, well, thank you for joining us on YouTube for the Sussex FA. It's Dean Kilford and Jake Payne giving you commentary for the Sussex Senior Cup final. As Miller almost got a foot in there, and Brighton almost trying to capitalise on any loose Worthing touch.
Great work from Jackson there to go in on a...
Keeley.
Was it Keeley there, just dispossessing Jackson Traxon really well and got the foot in nicely.
It's going to be interesting to see how this Brighton team go for the second half. Do they go for the jugular? Do they go for that third goal? Or do they wait? And do they wait to pounce on the break?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think
there's a bit of space there. Turns, gets across there well. Peels for a free kick from the fans, but it was a brilliant header from Turns. But that's a loose pass back, and Golding could be in. Confident goalkeeper from Beadle.
Yeah,
it looked closer than it was.
Miles Meekums sniffing around there a couple of times. He almost got through there, and Beadle just alert enough to get off his line nice and early and deny the winger any chance an easy attempt at goal.
You can see already the space on this near side. So Pattenden looks like he's come over to this near side on the right-hand side. But Spurge there had acres of space. There'd have been a better ball across field.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's actually more of a back four with Colburn going into just a centre-back partnership with Racine and Pattenden going into that right-back role.
And there's Racine when he caught one right on the knee there. That looked like a worse challenge it was. Racine just carried on. So
yeah, no surprises, no surprises.
Pepion can pick up the loose ball. Miller. Oh, plenty of space for Hinchy in the middle. Moran's come short. There's the quick passing that was used to such good effect in the first half, and we're seeing it now as Brighton take control of the start of this second half.
Yeah, really nice one-touch football. Moran involved in all of that and just trying to work the angle, but that's given away by turns, and now Starkey might be able to set them away.
Well, Moran made a really clever run off the back of Armstrong then, and a bit of composure and a better ball from Brighton. They could have well been in behind again.
Yeah, Talage will be desperate for his hat-trick this half, when he got those two in the first half, both really good finishes, and we're keen to get his second hat-trick of this competition. As I say, scored 4 in the second round against Haywards Heath and that 6-0 victory, and he'll love one here at the Amex.
There's a little ball through. A chance for Worthing potentially. It's just not quite sat forward, but Armstrong, presence and awareness to find Pattenden just off his chest, just invited the challenge. Moran can lead a breakaway as he tries to work up the line, but he runs out of play. Here's Colbrand. Armstrong can turn. Brighton just sitting back. They've gone into a back 5 when they haven't got the ball. And then a clear line of 3 ahead of them, although Miller's just pulling out of that as they look to try and put a bit of pressure on the Worthing back line. And that's a poor mistake from Armstrong, giving possession from Moran. And Brighton play and pile forwards. Lovely little back heel and Sturge. Is he offside? Referee's assistant keeps his flag down. Furlong into the box. Headed away awkwardly. Racine surely should have communicated there with Colbrand. Needless corner given away.
Yeah, he's not under pressure there, is he, Colbrand? Racine, I don't know if he gave him a shout or not, but Colbrand decided to take evasive action and just nodded behind. But didn't really, the ball lacked quality, to be honest. And Brian a little bit fortunate to end up with a corner, but a chance for them, a chance for Jack Spong to get a delivery. I'm sure he'll be aiming for Ben Jackson and Talage are probably the tallest 2 in this Brighton side, and Turns, of course.
Well, one of the things I've noticed when I've watched the Brighton under-23s is their variety of set plays, and they're very creative in coming up with ways to confuse the defence. That's a simple ball to the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by that man, Racine yet again. But normally for free kicks rather than corner kicks, Brighton tend to have something special lined up, at least one in a game.
Yeah, and I'll be surprised if we didn't see that at some point today. Just because they don't have that the height and the physical presence, they often try and work the angle with a few short passes.
Well, Keeley's pulled off his man again, and that's forced Turns to put one behind.
Yeah, just like the other end, a cheap corner given away, and hopefully from a Worthing perspective, they can create something more than Brighton did just a minute ago.
But you can see the pressure now, having that extra man up top has just put on Turns there, whereas in the first half he dealt with everything quite comfortably. That was a little bit nervy. I'm not suggesting that he's showing any nerves, but that pressure can get to a player.
Yeah, just a little hesitant. He just got to keep his cool there and deal with the change in personnel. But Pattenden's gonna deliver this one.
It's an in-swinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away well. Keeley should pick it up on the edge. He just drops the shoulder and looks to go on the outside. Superb defending from Spong. And Sturge should be able to clear it away up the line. Well, he's not allowed to.
Yeah, I think it was Colburn who'd stayed up from the set piece just to press Sturge, not allow that long ball forward.
So 5 minutes into the second half, Brighton Hove Albion 2, Worthing 1, a Sussex Senior Cup final. Remember, these two teams met in the semi-final in the curtailed tournament, which we don't, on the event that we don't talk about, the C word. That was 3-2, and we could be heading that way again this evening.
Yeah, I think there's definitely more goals in this one, as it's given away cheaply, and Hinchy can pounce.
He's got Spong for support. Instead he Plays it onto this near side, Furlong. Decides against the forward pass, but Sturridge pulled away to the byline on this near side, and they've gone for the more complicated ball switch of play.
Yeah, just looking back at when the two teams have met before in the final, Brighton have won 2-0 in both finals back in 2003 and 2004 and 2006-07. That's obviously not going to happen tonight, but Worthing will want to change that outcome. It's probably that I still think they've got a really good chance at this game. They started the second half brighter. Haven't really got Golding involved too much as of yet, in possession that is.
No, he just had that one sort of fleeting half chance from the back pass that he almost latched on, but the area is involved now, and it's like we've got Midas touch of talking about players not getting involved in the game, and all of a sudden they come into life. Here's
what do
Pattenden.
we know?
Gets the cross in, there's Golding! Can't direct his header on target, and I tell you what, it's like we've written the script for them.
Yeah, almost from Golding there. Great ball in from deep from Jasper Pattenden. And I'd say what Turns did really well there, just to unsettle Deshaun Golding in the area. And it didn't really allow him to get a clean header off. And that's what he's been brought on for, that it allows Worthing to approach their attacks in a slightly different manner and play those crosses into the area nice and high. And almost profiting there. It's Talage trying to pressure, but just gives away the foul.
Yeah, you could just sense Talage's eyes light up there. He thought he'd have the run on Colbrand, but Colbrand stood his ground and won the free kick for his team. But you sense it's only going to take a moment, and Worthing have got it in them. It's not like they've been overruled in this game.
No, far from it. Brighton have just created a few more clear-cut opportunities, but it's just a little bit different to the first half. We saw Brighton with a lot of the ball, but so far in the opening 8 or so minutes, it's been all Worthing.
Ball over the top of Pearce. Pearce does well to chest it down. He's got support with Keeley. Just holds on to the ball. Turns, works a bit of space for himself. Deshaun Golding on the outside and cross too close to the keeper at the near post.
Yeah, but good play from Worthing. Just switching gears there, as they are saying they were dominating possession a little bit more this half, and just taking their time with their build-up, and suddenly they just switched it up there, and Golding just unable to pick out. I think Meekums and Pearce were lurking in the middle, but just found the gloves of
well, all through
James
that
Beadle.
attack, Pattenden on this near side again was a free man. He's more comfortable playing on the right-hand side, and he seems to get himself in a more attacking position despite playing as part of this back four.
Yeah, we've seen him a lot in this role this season, but he's got to do some tracking back now.
Yeah, he was almost caught out of position there as Moran got in behind him. Here's Sturridge. He's got a run on ahead of him with Furlong. Instead, Moran takes over. Colbrand in close attention. Little infield pass, and the offside flag will surely be up against Moran.
Yeah, it's a little bit naive from Furlong to return that pass, I think. Yeah, Moran was always going to be offside there. Nice play, though, to just slip it through the legs. I think Moran just skipped past Colbrand, but
yeah, he worked it well down on this near side. Again, 3-4 passes, and they're in, potentially in behind.
Yeah, that's the ability that these players have. They're obviously very talented players, hence why they're in one of the better academies in the country.
That's a good forward run. Just Miles Meekums pulling away. In fact, it's Starkey, sorry. And there's the space for Pattenden that I was talking about earlier as Sturridge just pulled in to make a back three. Pattenden on the outside, works the angle for the shot, and it's just flashed over the top.
Yeah, good effort from Jasper Pattenden. He scored the winner in the most recent game against Brightlingsea Region right at the end of the season, and he
I'll tell you
almost...
what, that was some goal as well.
Yeah, it was. It was a great strike, hitting the underside of the crossbar on that occasion, but just sends it the wrong side of the crossbar on this occasion.
Well, I'll tell you what, not only has it brought a bit of life to the game, it's also brought a bit of life to the fans who are finding their voice again after the half-time refreshment. Always a bit of a lull for the fans as we approach the second half, but they're back in voice now. They've been spurred on by a couple of attacking chances for Worthing inside the opening 10 minutes of this second half. Yeah,
and Worthing, the players need it. They thrive off that lively atmosphere often at Woodside Road, so they'll want it here tonight, and I want to hear their fans, and they have been good this evening, to be fair. So good to hear them back in loud voice.
That's a bit of a cheap free kick one there by Moran, sort of threw himself to the ground there. Keeley not impressed with the Brighton forwards. I don't want to say theatrics, but he certainly made the most of it.
Yeah, just you've got to use your nous to take advantage of bits of contact like that. That's all part of the game these days.
Jackson just allowed to carry the ball forward, tries to pick one long for Stoke. They've looked for that ball a few times this second half, and it's been a bit more wayward.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to, because Pattenden is more naturally a winger, I think they want to try and set him up some 1v1 versus Sturge and perhaps Moran. So they're looking for that ball, but haven't quite found their range yet with the diagonal passes.
Pattenden does well again, and then plays a lovely ball down the channel for Keeley to chase. Jackson was there, and then Furlong back to his keeper, and you just wonder there if Miles Meekins had put the pressure on.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. It was bouncing in front of Beadle, and Meekins just decided not to press for that one.
And once again, just getting a first-class view of James Beadle's footballing skills.
Yeah, they clearly trust him, don't they? But maybe a chance here, but Racine across nicely there. But they clearly trust him in possession, James Beadle.
Well, Racine tries to win the free kick, and Moran has won it back high for Brighton Hove Albion. Furlong, advantage played by the referee as Moran's left down on a heap by the corner flag. Brighton switch play, and now hopefully, from their point of view, have a spell of possession, which has been lacking.
Yeah, it's been different for them this half, but so far they've managed to cope well with more Worthing possession. They've held their shape nicely. They've kept disciplined out of possession, and just want to not let it happen too much. And they want to try and profit down the other end too. Perpion trying to make something happen now.
Well, he's done really well, and that's a lovely turn. He's still going. Armstrong eventually can get the ball clear. What was interesting about that is as the ball was played forward, Talage was in an offside position, but positioned perfectly had Perpion managed to head it across to him, across the face of the 18-yard box. Lovely touch from Spong. Set back, and it's got to be, surely. Takes a little nick on its way through, but can Perpion stayed forward and has increased Brighton Hove Albion's lead. It's Brighton Hove Albion 3, Worthing 1. Perpion with the goal.
Yeah, good composure from Spong inside the 18-yard area there, and he looked up, had two options to his right, and he chose the Australian Cameron Perpion, and it was a simple finish for the winger or right back that he's been playing tonight. Really good first touch from Spong to break into the area, get away from Starkey, and then really good composure from Cameron Perpion just to pass it beyond Harrison Mayle and make it 3-1 after Worthing had probably started the half the better of the two sides.
Yeah, that's a killer blow for Worthing, who, as you said quite rightly, they've started the second half brighter without creating anything too clear-cut, but that possibly could be the nail in the coffin on their hopes of adding to their Isthmian Premier League title. 3-1 the score, and Perpion, have to say, Spong's involvement, his calm and composure, you don't see that often in that position when you're 6 yards out to pick the better pass.
Yeah, he's so good at that though. He trusts himself on the ball, and doesn't matter where it is on a pitch, he will always look for a way out, if that's defensively or in the area there. And he could have easily taken the shot on himself, but saw that Cameron Perpion was in prime position for a shot, and a really easy goal in the end for the Australian. But I love that first touch from Spong, just to get away from Jesse Starkey into the area. And yeah, unselfishness to lay it off and get the goal.
Pearce tries to find Keeley with the outside of the boot. Furlong across to cover as Worthing look to respond. 2 goals down, and with half an hour to stage some kind of a comeback.
Yeah, just looking for the ball there. I think that we've got another
I think it's
ball.
in row 6, mate. There he is. He's got it.
Good job.
We've played on.
No, I wouldn't rule Worthing out of this yet. You know, they're still capable, but
as they push forward, they're going to leave space in behind,
certainly,
like they have done here, and almost a better flick on there from Talage, and Moran would have been clean through on goal.
I see the couple of the senior boys are warming up on the touchline for Worthing, Dean Cox and Dan Budd. Yeah, I'd like to see Dean Cox. It'd be good for him to get a run out against his old club.
I'm sure we'll get a warm round of applause from the fans that will remember his long-standing tenure wearing the blue and white of the Seagulls, as Pattenden wants the corner, but it came back off the Worthing man last. It's quite rightly a goal kick. You can feel a little change in the atmosphere. There's a bit of frustration now building.
Yeah, I think you can sense that the Worthing crowd just getting a little bit edgy. They're not used to seeing their side losing. You know, They won the division by a good 10 or so points. So not used to being in these positions, but they have got that winning mentality. So hopefully that can carry them through if you're a Rebels fan. That's a really good
wonderful
ball.
touch from him out to Sturge. Sturge looking to get on the outside of Pattenden, and he beats him with ease. Furlong on the overlap, just checks back into the area. Oh, there's the space for Sturge, gets it out of his feet. Had to deliver surely on that occasion, but Spong will deliver. And it was a poor angle for the cross, and in turn was a poor delivery, but Brighton still try and keep the attack going. Armstrong should pick up the loose ball, and there's a bowl on here for Golding. That was such an important interception from Furlong, because Golding was clean through on goal. Had that ball got through, Miller, calm, composed, out to Sturge as Brighton look to turn the screw and press their advantage and make it 4-1.
Yeah, just opened up there, didn't it, for Golding on this near side, but they just couldn't quite find that pass. But there's more spaces open up as Worthing searched for a goal back.
And there's the ball in towards Talage, headed away once again by Racine. And here the break could be on for Worthing. They've kept players forward, and that's no foul.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised not giving us a foul. I think he's just leant in the back of Reece Miles-Meekham's there, and surprised that Dan Austin, the referee,
Beadle
and
taking a chance there with Golding sliding in.
Yeah, just took a chance there, but yeah, I think space is opening up in behind that Worthing defence as they search for a way back into this game.
Should make for a very entertaining last 28 minutes or so.
Yeah, it will, because Worthing are going to search for it, and then Brighton are going to be able to hit them on the counter and exploit those spaces. So it's going to be, hopefully, be some real end-to-end stuff.
Well, we've got about 25 minutes or so left of this one. It's Brighton Hove Albion 3, Worthing 1 in the Sussex Senior Cup final, with Talage with his 2 first-half goals put Brighton in the ascendancy. Pepion's goal has got the Seagulls firmly in control, and they've got control of possession right now. Jackson with a loose pass, and this kind of complacency is probably going to be Worthing's best chance to get back in, but as I say, that Talage is kept on side. He's into the area to Moran. Moran takes a touch, gets past the challenge. Moran, 4-1. Game, set, and match. Brighton Hove Albion.
Yeah, you'd think so. Really good from Talage again, this time getting the assist, and he found Moran. He just sorted his feet out nicely in the area, just got it out from underneath his feet, and it was a fairly simple finish and just prodded it beyond Harrison Mail, and you would think that that would be the trophy heading back to Brighton and Hove Albion.
Well, what I like there from Talage is that in the first half, probably would have shot on that occasion, and he's on a hat-trick, but he showed the calm and composure that he didn't do in the first half, and he found his teammate and found the pass, and that was really calm and composed from Moran, and he's got his goal.
Yeah, and he probably hasn't been as involved as he would have liked, Andy Moran, so far. He's a real talent, and he showed really good footwork there just to get away from Armstrong and Pattenden in the area, just to make space for the shot. And he's got 4 goals and 4 assists in the under-23s Premier League 2 division this season, and you can see why he's involved in both. He picks up nice areas, and he's got himself on the score sheet. And for me, I think that's game over. To be honest, I was backing a Worthing return before, but you never know.
Well, what do you do now? Do you stick or twist? If you're Worthing, do you go for it? Do you think, do you know what, we're 4-1 down, do we go 5, 6, 7, looking to get ourselves back into it, or do you take the defeat and shut up shop and make it, you know, do you defend what you don't have, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think they'll want to get back into the game and try and get some goals and put on a show for the fans. You know, they've won the league. It sort of becomes a free hit for them now, so I think they'll still try and get back into it.
And he finds Sturge as well. Sturge in behind Pattenden. Sturge in here, he's got 2 on the far side, and what a recovery tackle from the Worthing defender.
Yeah, and a huge cheer goes up from the Worthing faithful down to our right. Really good recovery from Pattenden to get back on, and Sturge is suddenly the cracks are appearing all over the place in that Worthing defence, and Brighton look like they're going to get in every time.
Well, you can see the confidence that goal's given Moran. That pull down out of the air, and then the outside of the boot curl pass into Sturge's path. And once Sturge got away from him, he thought he was going to have the pace to get away. Pattenden really well to recover.
Yeah, it's on a few occasions Pattenden working hard to get back in. So, you know, it's not looking good for Worthing right now. They're leaving too many spaces for Brighton to exploit, and another chance for the Albion from the corner.
Spong's delivery this time too close to the keeper. He fisted away. Turned away by Starkey, but only as far as the score of the third goal. Pepion, who's sort of run into a dark cul-de-sac there, he's got no support, but he's somehow got himself out of it before slipping on the water turf that we mentioned at half-time.
Yeah, it's a shame that he slipped there, because that was a really lovely bit of skill to get away from his man. But yeah, just couldn't quite keep his foot in. But another throw-in midway through the Worthing half for Brighton, and they are in full control of this game now.
Absolutely, it's the third goal was kind of a killer, and it sort of stopped Worthing's momentum. But that fourth goal seems to have deflated the Rebels, or the Mackerel Men, as is their official nickname. As Golding comes short for it, instead it goes long up towards Keeley. He's beaten to it in the air. Golding holds off Spong. Armstrong gets away from Miller, and Pattenden takes a safe option back to Colbrand as Worthing shift it from right to left.
Yeah, I wonder if Hinshelwood just regretting that change to a back four, changing from that back five in the first half, and it's not really worked out in this second half. They haven't had that threat that the wing backs gave them in the first half, and you know, it's maybe one he'll look back on and wish he didn't change it, but you know, he would have done it with the right intents. But I just don't think, for me, that it's really
almost too early, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think they really needed to change too much after that first half. They were really in it. So I just think that change to a back four probably didn't work as positively as he thought it would. It added an attacker, but it's restricted them in the wide areas.
Well, we're going to see a special moment in a minute. It's going to be father v son, as the son of Worthing manager Adam Hinshelwood, Jack, is ready to come on, stripped off down below us here, and that's a fire over the top from Pearce out of nothing, almost reduced the arrears. Yeah,
it's not even a half chance that it's a difficult one. He gets up off his feet quickly after being collapsed to the floor, and a snapshot really, just got across his man but couldn't quite control the first time effort.
Well, I love the fact that, you know, certain players would stay down and roll around for about 3 hours trying to get a free kick. Pearce is straight up on his feet, and the chance came his way. And there's a Brighton player down in the boxes. We are going to get a double change. Ollie Starkey going to come on for Worthing, just as Jack Hinshelwood is coming on. And it's Marvin Armstrong whose game's over. Bit of a surprise there?
Yeah, he hasn't had the impact this second half, but what's interesting now is we're getting Ollie Starkey coming on, joining his brother on the pitch, and obviously Jack Hinshelwood coming on for Brighton, who's going to now be up against his dad, who's on the touchline for Worthing. So a couple of family affairs going on here.
It's the subplot within the main plot, which currently reads Brighton Hove Albion 4, Worthing 1. The Sussex Senior Cup is looking to head to this very stadium for a 14th time. They're only the 7 behind then, Worthing.
Yeah, Worthing have got that one in the bank, haven't they? They remain clear at the top of the trophy charts. But
we get an impromptu drinks break, as there's just that injury you can't see on your camera over in the penalty box.
I think it's Ed Turns who's just receiving some treatment in the area there. I think so. My eyes don't deceive me trying to count up the players, but I think it's Ed Turns.
Yeah, it's Turns. He's just being helped off the pitch. He is working, or walking, I should say, rather gingerly, being helped to the sideline. And you know, I wonder what's been said. I wonder if it's just a little pep talk from Adam Hinshelwood, just to say, look, go on, leave it all out. 20 minutes, just go and win these 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly that. It's pride now, isn't it? But you know that if Worthing get a goal in the next 5 minutes, suddenly that doubt creeps into these Brighton players' minds. They're still young and inexperienced, so that might start to affect their nerves. And Adam Hinshelwood will just be looking for them to just keep going and keep probing at the Brighton defence, because you never know what's going to happen, you know.
Well, Mail and Golding has just pulled off of Pepion there, who did well to track back and get his head on it. Turns back on the pitch and showing no signs of that previous injury that took him off. And Pepion gets the break well, and he tries to feed into Talage. That's an important interception from Racine, because Talage looked like he was going to be in, and a chance to get a hat-trick.
Yeah, he was just lurking there, was in. Racine just about managed to get the interception, maybe caught slightly out of position there, but managed to get the interception nonetheless.
I see Golding there just trying to go on the outside. Pepion just standing Tall out for a throw into Worthing. Worthing fans have found their voice again, just trying to spur their team for one last charge as we're into the final 20 minutes. A game where it's going to need the most miraculous of comebacks if Worthing to send this game even to extra time. As I'm just hearing to my left, we're curling the challenge of Real Madrid as that header just flashes past the post. Ollie Pearce again, the danger man.
Not quite Karim Benzema or Rodrigo, but yeah, our producer just having a word in our ear that Real Madrid did come back.
Wonderful delivery though from Starkey.
It was, but unfortunately Worthing aren't Real Madrid, but a comeback could still be in the offing. You never know. But here is that substitution that we've been talking about.
Yeah, Jack Hinshelwood coming on. And it's a special moment for him. A special moment for his dad. I mean, he's got to be proud looking on.
Yeah, of course. You know, he despite the fact he's on the opposing team, you know, he's obviously going to be pleased as a father that he's getting minutes in this game. But I'm sure he won't want him to perform too well.
Sturgis pulled away on this near side again. There's first touch for the substitute. And he's played a little ball in behind. Worthing tried to play the offside back. Talage is eventually flagged for offside. Never a big fan of that delayed. And there is the manager, Adam Hinshelwood, looking on. His team in one eye, his son in the other.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll... I don't know. I wonder what the words were between Jack and Adam before the game.
Friendly banter, they call it.
Yeah, I think so. It might change a little bit. The tone might change a bit now when they go home after this. But be straight to bed for Jack. No dinner for him.
Dinner. Well, there's a chance for a free kick now for Worthing. A chance for them to put one in the box play. Taking it early. Golding looking to get to the byline. Miller tracking back well, blocking the cross. Deshaun Golding trying to make an impact.
Yeah, they need a goal in the next few minutes. So they're ready to stand a chance of getting back into this one. If I'm honest, Starkey going across to take it won I think managers player of the season. Hopefully for Adam Hinshelwood, he can put in a delivery of quality here and try and find perhaps Golding or Racine.
Racine, obviously the natural target for the ball, and it is gone in his direction. It's well defended, headed away. The attack not over yet though. It was Starkey and a little back heel from Pearce. He didn't quite get enough on it. But it was Ollie Starkey who picked up the loose ball at the back and nearly found Pearce.
Yeah, an innovative finish from, or attempt at a finish from Pearce, but didn't quite connect with it. And Beda was aware of the opportunity and saved down low.
Brighton happy to now play those passes in awkward positions and deal with some rather awkward looking balls into feet. Here's Hinshelwood. Ball into the feet of Talage, who's flicked it round the corner. Lovely football. Talage has carried on his run. Just the ball was neither there or here, and Pattenden was in the right position to clear it, at least momentarily. Furlong picks up the loose pass. Moran with the back heel. Furlong just about gets away from the challenger Starkey. And then Pattenden does find Starkey, and he's tackled by Spong.
Yeah, it's a shame that that opportunity just faded out, because it's a really nice play from Brighton in the build-up. But I think oncoming here is the young talented man, Benicio Baker-Bawati, on loan from Porto, with a view to a permanent move. Former West Ham youngster, Todd Miller, making way.
Miller, he's certainly played his part in this game.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been a good outlet, and he's worked hard defensively too. But Baker-Bawati just brings a bit of a flair. He's a real tricky player. Watched him in that semi-final, and he got the assist. I think it was from Moran's goal, the second goal of the night, and he's a real handful. Interesting to see what position he picks up, whether he goes wide right or he plays a little bit through the middle.
He seems like he's gone straight through the middle, and he was instantly in a little arm tussle with Starkey. So yeah, we'll certainly watch that battle with intent as Worthing carry the ball over halfway, looking for something, looking for a glimmer of hope. And they're not going to get it with a forward pass like that. Easily intercepted by Hinshelwood. Just under 15 minutes to go here at the Amex Community Stadium. Brighton Hove Albion 4, Worthing 1 in the Sussex Senior Cup final. Talage with 2 first-half goals in response to Waddy Pearce's penalty, and Brighton looking to add a 5th. As Talage bursts through, Talage running through on goal. Harrison Mayle does what he does very, very well. Reads the danger, comes out and clears it.
Yeah, really good from Harrison Mayle there to be quick off his line. Talage, excellent little bit of skill to skip past 2 Worthing players, but just a little bit too far ahead. And Mayle came out with conviction there to just dispatch that one into touch.
Well, there we go, 3,087, the attendance just read out by the stadium announcer. Superb attendance for a cup final that is still held in wide regard in Sussex, compared to some of the other counties that maybe not take this competition as seriously. And Brighton looking for blood. Talage has pulled away. Surely the pass is on. Instead it's gone out towards Sturge. That's a clever pass from Moran. Checks it onto his left foot, just drags it wide.
Yeah, did well there to just shift it onto his left foot and work the space for the shot, but just pulled it on that left foot as he attacked. But another good attack from Brighton, and just gave Starkey the slip there, but yeah, just caught it with his instep. And
there's a clever run as well by Hinshelwood that pulled the defender away, just created the space as well for Moran. And you sense there, if there is going to be another goal in this one, it's only going to go one way at the moment.
Yeah, it's despite the fact that Brighton haven't had too much possession since scoring their 4th, it still looks like they're going to be the next ones to score. Is Worthing try those more risky forward passes as they search for an unlikely comeback. But
well, it does look like 3 up top now for Brighton, so it looks like Moran, Talage and Boatti. And there's Talage, and he's got Boatti to his right. Talage skips away from the challenge of Colbrand. He's got the support in the middle. Here's the substitute who just fluffs his lines at the vital moment. That should have been 5.
It should have been. He had lots of time as well. Talage did the right thing. I thought for a moment he was going to try and go for goal and add his 3rd, but unselfishly played it to Baker Boatti. But it's a poor finish. It's similar to the Moran one in the first half. Just didn't get the right contact on it and direct it towards goal.
Oh, nice drop and turn. And as he's brought down referee weight advantage, Talage, the man in the box that was free. Didn't reach him though, was Colbrand with the interception. And Baker Boatti still down, in some discomfort as Worthing play on with Golding. They've got 4 up in this attack. Make that 5 now as Miles Meekums comes to join. Deshaun Golding tries to find the feet of Keeley. There's a pull of the shirt there, waved away by the referee. Starkey with a switch of play. Here's Ollie Pearce, who's pulled away from Sturge. Delivered into the box, headed away at the near post. That's a strong head from Turns again.
Yeah, Keeley, Baker Boatti, in fact, still down out of possession at the moment as well.
Ball whipped into the area. Is he going to break all the way through for Golding? There's appeals for a penalty. Felt like Golding was pulled back
Yeah,
there.
looked like he was just held back as he tried to latch onto that cross. As I said, Baker Boatti has been down for this entire move, but Worthing played on. And just interesting to see here. If not sure if we'll get it from the angle. Yeah,
there's a little tug of the arm, maybe. I mean, we didn't quite.
Yeah, Turns, I think, just on Golding there. Just looked like he might have been holding Golding back, but here's that glorious opportunity.
Oh, you see it again and again, and just lacked that composure. He had time to take a touch.
He did, and he decided to take it first time. Maybe because he's just come off the bench, he wasn't quite up to pace with the game.
Well, as you can see, Baker Boatti is down, receiving treatment. So Worthing will just have to wait to take this corner.
Yeah, it looks like Marcus Iffill on the bench, just taking off his bib. He might be an immediate replacement here. It's a shame.
He's only just come on the pitch, and yeah, I feel he's stripping off and he's coming straight on. So change in the offing. Although good to see Baker Boatti is back on his feet, and he's just jogged over to the halfway line. Oh, meanwhile, for that challenge, Jesse Starkey did get a yellow card. It was just shown by the referee. So he becomes the 3rd Worthing player in the referee's notebook. We're just holding off that substitution at the moment, as Worthing will take the corner. It's going to be an outswinger Floated in towards the head of Racine, doesn't get there. Breaks to Keelan Niez, takes a knee, fires it in, takes a deflection of Taraj, who was doing the right thing at the other end.
Yeah, good to see him getting stuck in and helping to preserve this the 3-goal lead that Brighton have. But another corner again and a chance for Starkey to deliver. Haven't really been able to find Racine this second half from the set pieces.
No, it's as I say, it's an obvious tactic, but it's certainly one that would have been worked on before the game. They'd know it's coming. As Pattenden comes over as well. Will they all try and work something special here, or is it just going to be the simple outswinger from Pattenden?
Yeah, pretty much everyone forward for Worthing, everyone in the box apart from Miles Meekums.
The keeper just muscled off it. It's going to break and fall, and it's turned in!
Yeah, Joel, I think it was Colburn trying to see who it was.
No celebrations, but I think it was right. It was Colburn with the boot. And Worthing have pulled a goal back, and with 8 minutes to go, it's Brighton Hove Albion 4, Worthing 2.
Yeah, it just bobbled around in the area there, didn't it? And I think it was Colburn. It might be mistaken, but a number of Worthing shirts around it. But suddenly that gives them hope. We'll see here.
Colbrand just watched all the way, gets a foot to it.
Yeah, just a flick of the right foot, and on comes Alex Parsons as they look to search for an unlikely comeback. But suddenly, 8 minutes plus stoppage to go, only 2 goals in it. You never know.
Well, you never know. I mean, we jokingly, thanks to our producers, spoke about the shadow of Real Madrid calling on the spirit of them, and I tell you what, if they do pull this off, we are talking in those territory.
Yeah, and it just takes a moment like that, you know. That's just a set piece, and suddenly it changes to a 2-goal deficit, and
you can see already the physicality of the players. They've got a bit more of a spring in their step as Starkey just gets enough on it.
Yeah, and the Worthing crowd up for it again now, and they've just got a bit more energy, and you just think, are the Brighton players going to be able to keep their heads here and keep focus at the task?
Well, there's still going to be space there for Taraj. I just thought he was going to bring it under his spell and release the Baker Boerty, the substitute.
But they should be gone. This game should be gone with Bonesio Baker Boerty's chance. It should be 5-1. There's no doubt about that. So they might live to regret that missed opportunity.
And here's Parsons coming in on the right-hand side. He wants a free kick. Pearce takes over. Suddenly, Worthing are getting first to every 50-50 ball as that ball is curled in towards the edge of the box. There's a poor delivery, and once again, a needless corner, and the same corner where the goal was scored from.
Exactly, and this is how the game changed. We've got the Worthing crowd down at that side to the goal that the Worthing are attacking, and they're really getting behind their side here. And it's going to be Pattenden to deliver again.
Well, a similar delivery, and once again they're trying to block off the goalkeeper's run on that one as Pattenden does deliver it to the similar position. It's turned in and headed towards goal.
It was Colburn. Was it Colburn again?
I think it was Colburn again. Highest. You're right. He was there, but this time not enough purchase, and this time Beadle was able to clutch it out of the air with both hands. He was always leaning back.
Yeah, difficult to actually guide that one to where he wanted it to there, Joel Colburn, but chances coming for Worthing.
Drop of the shoulder in turn from Pattenden, but Spunk read the danger. And that's a clever pass back. He knew he had a man on him, knew where his man was, and found turns with ease. Jackson taking a risk, but then finding a great pass. Moran, he's got 2 players in, and one of them's Taraj. The offside flag does go up. He was just taking a run too early.
It looked like it was just a little bit early. From we had quite a good position. Looked like he'd just gone slightly too early there, and here is that change.
Well, Taraj isn't going to get his hat-trick because he's just about to be replaced. Ifields is coming on. So yeah. Taraj, a warm round of applause from the blue and white half of the crowd down to our left.
Yeah, boos from Bruce in the other half. I think that's for his celebrations early in the first half, but not sure he'll mind that. But he's been the match winner. He's got those 2 goals. He's got an assist as well. He's been the difference tonight for Brighton, and it's delightful to, after a difficult loan spell at Cambridge, to be back at the Albion and in the goals.
With a long punt forward towards the box, and Golding is penalised, and I tell you what, on another day that's not given either.
Yeah, there's not too much in there, is there? And he just duelled with Turns, and now Turns going
Turns
down.
Has stayed down.
But it was just a slight nudge from Golding.
And a slight nudge was enough, and Turns is going to be okay to continue. Back up on his feet.
Maybe just accelerated towards him there, I think, actually, Golding. Just knocked him over.
So just about 3 minutes or so remaining. Plus probably a fair bit of stoppage time. We've had a couple of long stoppages, a few substitutions. Of course, the goals themselves. We could have about 6 or 7 minutes left here.
Yeah, we might do. We might do, because it's it's been a fairly stop-start this second half.
Pattenden trying to make things happen in the middle. He's probably been Worthing's man of the
Lovely.
match, but they might have some defending to do here. Into the box goes Baker, Boatti, and he just tried one trick too many. There was the opportunity on the edge of the area just to unleash that shot.
Yeah, he just couldn't quite work enough space from a range that he felt comfortable shooting from. But a really lovely little touch to get away from his man initially there.
You just sense there's another goal in this game.
Yeah, it does feel that way. I'm not sure which way it's going to go, but it does feel like it's just that one more chance. And if it goes Worthing's way, you just don't know. But Brighton have just got to keep their heads here. They've got that 2-goal lead. They don't need to try anything too risky.
And like that from Turns, yeah.
It's cheap things like that. Like it looks harmless now. He's given away a throw-in to Worthing inside their own half, but we saw Worthing give away a goal from a throw-in in the first half, and it only takes a slip-up from Brighton to allow Worthing back into this game.
Absolutely. The Sussex Senior Cup currently going Brighton's way, and it might do as Moran tries to find Ifields. Just a bit too much on it, and Mayle's absolutely taking no hesitation and bowling the ball out to Parsons, who's looking to clip one down the line, or that was the intention. The pass didn't match that. Baker Boatti. Nice footwork from him again. Gets away from the challenge. Fires a lovely ball in between the lines. Oh, this is nice for Sturge. Can he keep it in play? Of course he can. Drop of the shoulder. Ifields. Here's Hinshelwood. Strikes it low. He was always going to take the shot on, wasn't he?
Imagine he got the goal against Worthing. Headlines.
Keeley just hesitated, and there was an opportunity momentarily where he could have maybe pounced on that loose ball. Hinshelwood with his back to goal. Worthing being encouraged by the bench to press, give it one final go.
This is the right thing from Brighton, though, to do. It's just keeping possession and working the ball side to side and finding those pockets of space. I think Perpin just gone down on the far side. Not sure if it's just cramp, maybe just time-wasting tactics. I'm not really sure. That Brighton are keen to continue, but...
Well, we mentioned before about the size of the pitch, and maybe some of these young players for Brighton haven't actually had the opportunity to play on this pitch until today. Sturge makes a clever little pass down the channel, and now Brighton can waste a bit of time with Furlong. Tries to win the corner again, maybe not taking the right option.
Yeah, there's actually space in this channel.
Through. Oh, the ball needed to be in behind, and it was to feet.
Yeah, now Jackson has gone down.
Well, there's two Brighton players down. Jackson's down, and over on the far side, is it Pepion who's down as well?
Yeah, he was down and halfway, tried to get up, then went back down again inside his own half.
And Pattenden just remonstrating with the referee to make sure enough time.
Just in there on that close-up, he's got a cut to his left knee, Cameron Pepion. I thought it might have just been cramped, but actually it looks like a nasty gash on one of his knees, I think.
Well, the Worthing fans don't know that. They're booing. They're not aware of what's gone on.
Yeah, I think it was cramped for Ben Jackson on the near side. There's a 5 minute stoppage time. It's going to be added to now, though,
we've
isn't
had,
it?
5 additional minutes, but we'll certainly have probably a good minute or so added on top of that. So 5 additional minutes to be added in the Sussex Senior Cup final, where it's been Brighton's day, to be fair. Brighton 4, Worthing 2.
Yeah, I think they've just been, this second half has been the difference. You know, it was quite a fairly even first half, despite Brighton going into the break 2-1 to the good. But they found another gear this second half and showing real quality and preciseness and incisiveness in the final third to just be clinical and bury this game and put it beyond Worthing's reach. Really, it's been a really good second half display from Brighton.
Well, certainly they weathered that early storm as well. They didn't really give too many opportunities where they knew Worthing were going to come at them, putting on the extra attacker. They soaked it up, and then they've absolutely hit on the counter.
Yeah, Worthing started the half good, like 7 or 8 minutes. They had a concentrated possession, but Brighton just hit back with a goal, and that's killed it, really.
Well, Racine stayed forward, and he's easily won that ahead of Baker Boatti. Starkey, it's going to go long. Into the box towards head of Racine. He's headed it on. There was no one in a red shirt there. They'd all run on ahead of the ball. Will it come back at them a third time? A little push in the back from Moran. Not seen by the referee. Parsons with a quick throw up the line. Sturge in there ahead of Starkey. He's been forced into his own corner flag. Nothing stupid there, and they forced a mistake. Oh, and that's a sore one on Spong.
I'm really impressed with Andrew Moran in the second half. He didn't really have too much of an impact in the first half, but he's really grown into this game and shown really nice bits of footwork here and there.
The goal's definitely given him that confidence, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. We saw him pop up in the box a few times in that first half, but he's got himself on the ball more this second half, and he's got his goal to go with that. But you're right, it picked him up, and he's shown some really nice moments in this second half.
So just want you to think about a possible man of the match. Wasn't on the cards for us to talk about that, but why not?
Why not? I was only thinking about it moments ago, and I think there's been a few good performances from the Brighton team today, but I think you can't look past the man who's got them into this lead. Laurent Talage, 2 goals and an assist, has really sealed this game. Yeah, they had a couple of other opportunities as well. Might have got another assist with the set to Benicio Baker Boatti, but yeah, goes to Laurent Talage. I think he's the match winner, so I think for me, he's my man of the match.
And if you were looking at a man in red, that man just there, Pattenden, has been brilliant for Worthing this evening.
Yeah, he's been an energetic presence. He's been asked to play a number of roles. Started at left mid or left wing back and moved to right back the second half, and now he finds himself in centre mid. He's been everywhere, and he's worked his socks off, and it's been a brilliant season for Pattenden. It's a shame it's not ending with silverware here at the Amex against his old club, but a really spirited display from him. And the whole Worthing side, has to be said, there hasn't been too much between the two teams, just the generation
a bit of quality.
Yeah, generation of those
third.
chances, and it might have been more for Brighton. They've had another couple of clear-cut opportunities, but overall it's been fairly balanced. But second half, I think Brighton have just been too much. But
well, Baker Boatti just receiving treatment there, getting that late challenge from Ollie Pearce, who was spoken to by the referee. Remember, he's on a yellow card. There was nothing more than that, and it's some concern for him. They did. Some of the players did wave the trainers on straight away, and.
Yeah, we saw him in the wars earlier, didn't we? And he was able to continue then, but
it didn't appear to be too much in that challenge.
No,
Pearce did pull out.
Yeah, I can't lie, I didn't really notice it too much. I was looking elsewhere, but it's a shame to see if the game's going to end in this way. It's a real shame. We've got the 5 minutes out of time here, but we're probably going to get a few more minutes for the various stoppages.
So Brighton Hove Albion very much on course for their 14th Sussex Senior Cup.
Yeah, chasing down the total of Worthing's 21.
And they have been rather dominant in recent years with this trophy. The current holders, of course, have held it for 3 years, Bognor Regis Town.
I mean, they'll be pleased, won't they, to not see Worthing getting the title this year. But yeah, I think over recent years we've seen the Brighton's Academy really step up. Lots of investment from Tony Bloom in the academy setup and the training ground, so they're starting to see the rewards of that. Didn't have the Premier League 2 campaign they hoped for, finishing 8th or 10th was it in Premier League 2. So it's good to see some reward, but it's a shame to see the stretcher coming out now. But there's Laurent Talage on the screen now, my man of the match. Yeah, I think just had the quality when it mattered, and who can forget the moment where he tries to take his shirt off and post to the cameras. I enjoyed the struggle, but yeah, no, his goal-scoring performance has won this match for Brighton this evening. Interesting to see what the summer holds for him, whether he stays at the club or goes out on loan elsewhere. But tonight he's made his impact. He has. He's a powerful forward, a good shape for a striker, and he's shown his finishing ability this evening.
Well, it is really sorry to see as Baker Boatti is having a brace put onto his leg, and He's going to be carried off on a stretcher, so I sincerely hope this is not a serious injury for the young Brighton forwards.
Yeah, it's a real shame for the game to end this way. We don't want to see moments like this, but
there's Adam Hinchelwood looking on. His team have given it their all today. You can't have asked any more from any of the players. They have, of course, the consolation that they have been promoted to the National League South, which is, it's not bad consolation.
It's not bad at all. And I know at the start of this season, he would have looked at this competition with interest, but the main goal was for them to get promotion into the National League South, and they've done that. They deserve that, and it would have been nice for them to add some silverware tonight, but they're not going to go into summer disappointed at all.
Well, there's the Brighton coaching team looking on, and of course they're going to emulate the women's under-23s team, who also won the female equivalent of this trophy.
Yeah, and it's a good time for Brighton at the moment. As I was talking about the investment in the academy, they've also invested in the women's side of the game. That's really coming on. No, they're looking to break into the top 4 of the WSL newly released plan. So, it's a good time, and it's nice to see their work in the academy of Shannon Roof and Andy Crofts, and getting some reward in the form of silverware here this evening.
Oh, a very interested ball boy looking on.
Isolated in the crowd. He's just scrolling away on his phone. No idea what's going on in his own little world there.
Maybe he's watching our stream.
Oh, maybe. An avid fan, of course. There he is.
There you go. We can see the great job the ball boys have done in what isn't necessarily the most funnest of opportunities, funnest of jobs in an empty stand.
No, he's got to search that ball in between the seats. The poor bloke on his own there in the east stand, but yeah, just a great end, a great game we've seen today, but a shame to see this is the way it's ending. Benicio Baker-Whitey being stretchered off here.
It's and what is nice to see is the warm round of applause that both sets of fans are giving the youngster, and Jasper Patton are just checking on him, but that's not a nice sight to see at all. Thankfully, the braces weren't needed in the end.
Yeah, and he didn't need any oxygen either. So it's clearly a serious injury, but the brace is on. Didn't see it initially. I just saw them taking another set off on the other side of the pitch. Yeah, but, so it's that right shin, isn't it? So that's really sad to see, but hopefully
a speedy recovery.
We do wish him well. The only consolation is that it's the end of the season. Hopefully he's not going to miss too much football. But yeah, a shame to see him go off in the final stages here.
Well, we'll probably have another couple of additional minutes added to the end here, and Brighton should be able to see this one out relatively comfortably.
Yeah, they are down a man at the moment, though. They haven't got a substitution left to make that.
Layoff and Pearce, and there is the space you were talking about. That's exactly where Baker-Boati would have been. But the pass was poor, and Hinchelwood can clear it away. And I wonder if the referee will maybe call an end to this one a bit sooner than he may have done had it not been for that injury.
Yeah, I think he'll wait to see what happens with this next Worthing attack, but looks to be it, doesn't it?
That's it. I thought that was going to be it for a second.
Yeah, I think one of the Worthing fans, yeah, given a whistle there, Trick G, but
you were on the ball. Chance for one last launch is the block from Pattenden.
Racine up from the back.
Racine knot it down. The break could be on again though. Here's Moran. There's 2 players over on the left, and busting a gut is Hinchelwood. In fact, it's Ifill who's brought down. That's going to be a red card. It's going to be a free kick. But that's another sorry end to this cup final.
It's a shame. We've heaped praise on Jasper Pattenden, and he's taken the red card there. A little bit of frustration, maybe saw Ifill racing away on goal, and
it's prevented a goal.
Yeah, it has. It feels a little bit unjust under circumstances, but it's the laws of the game, so he has to go. He hasn't had any intent to play the ball there.
Well, Marcus Ifill absolutely busted a gut to get in beyond.
Yeah, he's a really talented player, Marcus Ifill. He scored 2 goals in the competition so far. Great ball
through. Look at that run in behind. And Pattenden, well, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, as soon as he got the wrong, Marcus Ifill got the wrong side of him, Pattenden just gave him a little tug on the shoulder. But I spoke really early on about Jack Spong's prowess from free kicks, and he might get an opportunity, and this is
prime territory.
Prime Jack Spong range.
Well, this would certainly add some gloss onto what is already a very healthy-looking scoreline. Moran, though, showing some intent as well. It is going to be Spong, left-footed, straight into the arms.
Straight into the keeper this time.
Harrison Mayle. Along it goes, it's 10 men apiece, we should add. And there, the referee, Dan Austin, blows and calls final time on this Sussex Senior Cup final. The two teams shake hands in what has been a quite brilliant showcase for Sussex football. Worthing took the lead midway through the first half. A penalty from Ollie Pearce, who was cool, calm and composed. Then it became the Tarrage show. 2 goals of supreme quality gave Brighton Hove Albion a lead going into the break. Worthing came out the second half fighting, but were picked off. A wonderful work goal. Tarrage involved again. And Pepion, the goal scorer, made it 3. A fourth followed shortly after. A wonderful, calm, composed play from Moran. Worthing put one back late on, but it wasn't to be. The comeback wasn't on, and Brighton Hove Albion hold on to win their 14th Sussex Senior Cup final. The final score here at the Amex Community Stadium: Brighton Hove Albion 4, Worthing 2.
Yeah, really good display from both sides tonight. As you say, a really good advert for the game. And here it was a
Let's
look
see
back.
The goals again.
Yeah, this Pearce, we said maybe his goals will be the difference tonight. So many goals this season, 38 goals, and gave them the lead from the spot. Really assured penalty, but it really sparked Brighton into life from that point.
It was almost the worst thing that could have happened to Worthing in the game at that time.
In a way, Brighton were in control, but were passive in possession. So this really enabled them to change gears.
And here's the equaliser, and this wonderful quick 1-2 football.
Yeah, great from Hinchy. Yeah,
and then that ball from Sturge is on the money. Didn't have to think about it. Hit it first time on a plate. Brilliant. Yeah,
it's just instinct from Lawrence Lahr just to hit that one first time. Didn't even really need to look at the goal. He knew where it was, and taunting the Worthing fans, and he got a little bit of pushback after that.
And here's Talage's second goal. The poor throw-in just put Seeger into trouble. Ball through from Miller. Here's Talage again. This time, cool, calm and composed. Slotted it into the corner.
Yeah, a different type of finish, but really smart nonetheless, and gave him man of the match because his contributions in front of goal. But a really good evening for the striker.
And there's the famous shirt-off celebration in front of the Worthing fans, who are being applauded by the Worthing players. Have come over, and they're all giving each other a standing ovation. Here's the third goal. Brilliant from Spong. Calm, composed, laid it on a plate, and equally calm and composed from Pepion to side foot home.
Yeah, thought Pepion had a quite good game. He got a little bit quieter as the game went on, but a really calm finish there. And then this was the one that just put it beyond doubt, really.
And this is where Talage showed a bit of maturity. In the first half, he struck for goal in a similar position. This time he found Moran, who turned not one but 2 Worthing players before firing in the corner.
Yeah, Moran had a really good evening in the second half, and that goal caps off. But looked for a moment that Worthing might be able to muster some sort of miraculous comeback. Colburn it was, he profited from Pattenden's corner kick.
Yeah, you could see he just watched it all the way, never lost track of the ball, and that's brilliant.
Yeah, he was the only one there that was really aware of where the ball was. The Brighton player sort of lost track of where the ball was going to fall, and Colburn just twist and turn it in, but unfortunately it wasn't to be.
Well, you can see there's Adam Hinchliffe giving one final team talk for this season. He's going to be proud of his players' efforts tonight. He's going to be proud of his players' efforts for this season. Let's not forget, when we look at this season as a whole for Worthing, this would have been a bonus. The main aim of the season was to qualify finally for the National League South. They've achieved that and then some by winning the league at Akansa. You know, this would have been the cherry on the cake. It wasn't to be, but he'll be certainly proud that his team have put on a fight against a team the calibre and the quality of this Brighton Hove Albion under-23 team.
Yeah, exactly. Adam Hinchliffe knew this was going to be a tough one. He claimed that they were underdogs, and perhaps they were, and Brighton just proved their calibre. But Worthing, they won't be disappointed at all with their efforts. But you know, Brighton eventually deserved winners, I think. But here we're going to see the Worthing players presented with their runner-up medals.
The worst medals to receive.
It is, unfortunately.
But you can see the bright future for this club. Brighton have some fantastic young players. I think Spong, calm, composed in the middle. I think Moran grew into the game, absolutely, as you said. That goal really brought him into life. I think Pepion, first half was brilliant. Second half, absolutely, as you said, he quietened a little bit. And Taraj again,
yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting to see whether he does get a chance to break through into the first team.
Yeah, just handing out some awards here. I think they're asking for the player of the match. One of them agreed with me. They
Well,
did.
they did.
Look at
There
that.
you go.
I mean, it was quite an obvious choice. I think he scored 2, assisted 1. I think I hear those boos. I actually think he'll love those. I think he'll love getting that back.
I think your scouting knowledge has come to the fore there. Laurent Talage, quite rightly awarded officially the man of the match, as well as our unofficial man of the match.
Yeah, match officials getting their awards tonight. I thought they had a good game. There was nothing. They let it flow. I can't really think of anything that.
I thought Dan Austin, on definitely a few occasions, he allowed play to go on. I can remember a chance for Worthing in the first half. He allowed play to go on when Armstrong went through and set up the shot from the edge of the area. Did that a couple of times, made the right calls, gave the penalty, which on reflection may not have been a penalty, but...
Yeah, but I think at the pace it looked like it was inside the area. Then obviously had to dish out the red card at the end. But again, Jasper Patton enforced his hand there. But nice to see a good refereeing performance and to allow for a wonderful final.
Well, there we go. Adam Hinshelwood will get his rewards and get his applause. This is the thing about this kind of cup final. The manager does get rewarded, does get their chance to get applauded by their fan set, and he deserves this moment.
Yeah, certainly. He's done a phenomenal job for Worthing over the past few years, and I know George Dow will be here somewhere, the owner, and he will be absolutely delighted with how Adam Hinshelwood has carried this squad through the last few years.
Well, not just the squad, but the whole way in the setup and the makeup of the club is shaped and formed, and as we said, that youth.
Yeah, that youth influence. He's really helped bring that through. But as Andrew Crofts receives his award, I'm sure he'll be sharing that with Shannon Ruth.
Do you reckon do they share an office? Will it go in between the two?
Yeah, it'll just go in the hallway between them, maybe. But here are Worthing.
The Worthing players, to a man, will receive their medals, led by their captain Aaron Racine.
Yeah, it looked like he might at some point get on the score sheet tonight, but they just couldn't quite find him from the set pieces, could they? But each and every one of them deserve the accolade, even though it's a runners-up medal. It's always something to look back on. They'll look back on the stage. They got a chance to play at a great stadium. Some of these players might have never had or might never will get the chance to actually play at a venue like this. So something to remember the day by, and they gave their best, and that's all you can do in finals like this.
Well, there's Pattenden, who's back on able to receive his medal, which is a nice touch. I was just thinking back, it's a shame that Dean Cox didn't get his moment.
Yeah, I saw him stripped off right at the end there with his number 7 show on, and a shame he didn't come on and play against his old side. But here we are. Here are the winners of this year's Sussex Senior Cup, and a deserved victory. Todd Miller, the first one to go collect.
That's it, and he quietly impressed. Although he got a lot of stick from the fans, I thought he coped with it well, because he won't be used to that.
No, exactly. And before the game, I think it was Jack Hinshelwood talking about the fact they're not used to playing in front of crowds. At academy level, all you're doing is playing in front of parents and scouts, really. So a different challenge than tonight in front of a crowd, but that would have really spurred them on. And he dealt with it well, and I think he went quite under the radar this evening, but it was a good display from the former Colchester United man. But yeah, a really good performance, and they'll lift the trophy here, and they've done really well to come through.
Well, Spong, the skipper, will go up last, and he will get that moment that you dream of as a schoolboy. Any trophy is a big trophy.
Yeah, and he's a local lad as well, so this will mean so much to him to lift this trophy at the Amex.
The winners of the 2022 Sussex Senior Cup. Oh, we pose for photos first.
Always, for the gram.
As Jack Spong lifts, eventually, the trophy. There are the winners. The top of the cup goes flying. Brighton Hove Albion are your winners. Deservedly so, by 4-2. In a game, as we said before, has really been an advert for football in Sussex. Two good footballing teams battling it out. and eventually it was the young team that had the better ammunition.
Yeah, this competition's fantastic, and long may it continue. It's a great advert for Sussex football, and if this isn't a signal as we end this season, you know, next season, get out, support your local team. There's such great football in Sussex at the moment. You know, you've got Worthing, Lewis, Hastings on the up as well. Always
Hastings promoted, Horsham on the up and up, Lewis just missing out on the playoffs.
Exactly, it's an exciting time to be a Sussex football fan. You know, we've got Brighton in the Premier League as well in the top half, so you know, it's a great time. So get out and support your local team. Come down, watch the Albion play. You know, this is what we love in Sussex. We've got such great quality, and it was capped off tonight. A really good game. You know, 6 goals. Couldn't have asked too much more. Penalty, red card. You know, it was a great game. And Brighton ran out winners, but you know, it's just great for Sussex football. You know, it's a really good moment for the county.
So thank you very much for joining us here on YouTube for the Sussex FA. I've been Dean Kilford.
Yeah, and I've been Jake Payne this evening.
And we thank you very much for joining in. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. The final score here in the Sussex Senior Cup final, Brighton Hove Albion 4, Worthing 2, your Sussex Senior Cup winners at Brighton Hove Albion. Goodbye for now.